Let the challenge begin.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We are giving you guys again another live. We're starting season 15 of Married at First Sight. Yes, we're back with another banger. Let me tell you something. I'm actually looking forward to Married at First Sight this season. We've been off. The last season, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't looking forward to it. I didn't do many lives. I stopped doing the super panels. I was tired. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was boring. Okay, but this season, I don't know what it is. Something about this season feels just right. Something about this season feels like I'm ready to talk. Maybe I'm feeling refreshed. Maybe because we had a little bit of a break, I feel better again. You know what I mean? And I can really tell the spirit is in sync because my brother's even wearing a t-shirt saying worship. I'm wearing a Christian t-shirt too. The spirit is definitely one today. I know that today's show is going to be amazing. I know it's going to be right. Listen, if you want to join the convo as well, you can do by hitting us up on email. If you want to join us, myself and Sean will be kicking off the show today. All right. Listen. You know what I mean? It's Chile. It's going to be a nice one this season. Listen, this episode was crazy good. I can't lie to you because we got some really good information right from the jump. We had Justin and we had Alexis, and we got to see their opening things. I mean, I'm scared. I'm thinking they're either going to be a spectacular fail or they're going to be a one for the books next few years. Yeah, a spectacular fail or one for the books. You got one or two. I just want to see a middle ground with them too. We've got also what's her name? Morgan. And I can't remember who the heck Morgan's with. Morgan's with one guy. What is his name? Begins with an M. Don't know what his name is. But the M guy and Morgan, man, I'm telling you, listen, that's gonna be you know what? The Morgan is gonna literally do bits because Morgan and is it Denby? Denby, Morgan and Denby? Yeah, Morgan and no, Benny. I messed up names already. So Benny, and Morgan, that's another mad one for me because Morgan is a fighter. And I'm not just talking about fighter in terms of throwing punches and kicks at Muay Thai. This girl is going to be a fighter. And then they've paired her up with a mama's boy. Like this, it's like where do they think this is gonna work? These opposites attract nonsense that they're doing. You know what I mean? I have to start questioning people's their qualifications and stuff. Because what's going on here? It's even mad, bruv. Alexis' best friend. Someone said Alexis' best friend loves her. That guy. Let me not say nothing in it. You know what I mean? Before you know it, somebody said that you don't have to do best friends with girls. Anyway. Okay, then we had obviously as well, whatchamacallit. Their names are going out of my head for some reason. I don't know why. I have my notes here, so let me just go back to my notes because I'm going to be forgetting people's names off the rip and the jump. Okay, so then before we excellence, we've got Linday and Miguel. Oh my gosh, Miguel is done. Do you know what I see though? Do you know what I see? I see Linday talking about she's going to run over her man, but I have a feeling. Oh, it's Linday. Okay, I thought it was Linday. But okay, so I have a really big feeling that Lindy is gonna be a dark horse. I have a feeling she chats the Pats, talks about I'm gonna run over my man, and I have a feeling she's gonna fall in love with Miguel. I don't know why. I have a feeling that she may potentially just fall in love with old boy, and actually all that chat to the Pats that she was doing about I run over man might not actually happen. Do you know what I mean? But if Miguel writes poetry like he actually does relationships, he's doomed. What manner of poetry did he just do? It was trash. It was crap. It was cooked. I mean, this guy was trying to give us, I write poetry, and you go and write that. It didn't even make sense. Whatever metaphors you were going for did not metaphor. Okay, they didn't metaphor. Okay, I was like, this is mad. Okay, so Lindy, whatever her name is, that's a madness. And then we've got also. My brain's gonna kick into me finally. Hopefully, we've got also Kristen and Mitch. Mitch is somebody who likes to be a rebel, does whatever he needs to do. And you know what? With Mitch, he gonna live his life. And then you got Kristen, who is someone who wants a man with passion and everything like that. I don't know. I have a feeling they shouldn't really have problems, to be honest. I know she was meant to get married to somebody, and she ended up turning the marriage into a party when the guy decided that he had cheated on her 6 months in, etc. Hey, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really see much deep problems with them apart from the fact she ignored some red flags and ended up dating the guy. And he himself, he's always one of the family, grew up in a rebellious home. I kind of see them being stable, if I'm honest with you. I see them being a stable relationship. You know what I mean? Bar him doing something crazy, like, advocating for plastic in Nando's or advocating for plastic in a Chinese restaurant, I can't really see if it go really bad. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you. And then let's see. The last one I think is I think that's the last one is then. Oh, have I got it? Oh, Stacey and Nate. Stacey and Nate. For me, this is gonna work. No, this is going to go up in flames. This one is going up in flames. Stacy, is this Stasia? Oh, thank you very much, sir. Stasia and Nate. Yeah, this is going up in flames. Yeah, I can only see it. I can see it's going one way. This is going up in flames for me. Stasia and thing, both are very headstrong about what they want to do, and I just have a feeling that none of them is going to yield. I feel like none of them are going to give in, and I feel like this is going to be like her. If your mom starts praying and say, "I'm praying for the actual guy, not for you," I mean, at that point, you got to ask yourself some really key questions. Whether you're actually that much of a catch. You spent all your time working, building your empire, and now you're looking for a man. It sounds like a man. That's what a man would do: build up his empire and then start looking for a man. I don't know. I wasn't. I was a little bit shooketh. With Stasia and Nate situation, and then Nate too was doing a bit too much with the whole stripper thing. It makes me think that maybe in a few weeks' time we're going to see some madness out of Nate as well. I don't know. I just wasn't really confident about their situation as well. So I don't know. I mean, hey, I think this is going to be an interesting season. I think this will be a very, very interesting season. I think we're going to enjoy ourselves. And yeah. Woo! It's gonna be interesting. That's what I'm gonna say, right? But let me get Sean on. Shawnee boy. Let me get my headphones on as well, boy, for you. Chili, what are you saying, Captain?
Man, this is gonna be a good season. I can't wait. Do the This is gonna be a good one. Oh man, where do we
What's
begin,
your first thought?
Coach?
What's your first thought? Just overall, what's your first thoughts of the cast, the members that are on it so far this season? What's your overall thoughts?
It's another maths mismatch. I think that's the formula. It's the maths mismatch. That's what I'm calling it.
Who would you say specifically is definitely a mismatch?
Well, since I definitely think Alexis and Justin ain't no way.
Ain't no way, boy.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way, boy.
Ain't no way. You heard what she said? She was like, well, wait, I had to write it down because I have never heard this before. She said, he's not physically that awful. What? What? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Oh, don't worry, bro. I'll put up that clip for you as well, bro. I remember that way it was, so don't worry about it. I'll put up the clip for you as well, bro. Ain't no way, boy. That girl said he ain't. She said he ain't ugly.
He ain't awful. He's not that awful. That's what she said.
I said, damn.
Exact quote. He's not my type, but I like his energy.
She has too much mouth on her for me, boy.
Yeah. That's
got too much mouth for me, man.
And she's a tomboy too. She got all those male friends. Justin's gonna get his heart mashed up, boy. Poor brother. This gentle giant broke down because his brother wasn't supporting him going on to maths. I mean, real tears. Not like real tears, bro. I don't know. I don't think he's fit for maths. He must have never watched one episode. Not one.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, bro. I agree with you on that. What's your very quickly? Before we go any deeper in all of the couples? What was your thoughts quickly on Morgan and Benny? Then Morgan, the fighter, Japanese samurai warrior, and Benny, the mama's boy. What was your thoughts?
Another mismatch, and I think I guess this is 2022, so you got all the emo guys out here, but the sensitivity is on level 10. He wants to save the world, no plastic straws. Yeah, nah, I'm good. Then what is he, like a vegan and all of these other things? Yeah, I think she's going to chew him up and spit him out. She's probably going to be attracted to him physically, but I don't see anything else going further than that.
Wee. I hear that, Cap. I hear that. Quickly as well, what's your thoughts on Stacia, and Nate? I don't know how you say it. Stacia.
They done found us a boss chick, bro. This is
Bro.
right. This is, she gonna go viral on Spiritual Word. She is ripe for Spiritual Word. I swear. She wants a post-nuptial. Yeah, she's a man eater. Even the mother did the signs of the cross. The mother did the signs of the cross.
Yo, it's funny because let's talk. Oh no, I'll wait till we actually discuss her. We'll wait till we discuss before I add that 2-piece. I don't want to spoil it. Kristen and Mitch. What's your thoughts on them?
She said a red flag for her was a dude in his late 30s that has never seriously settled down. And what did they give her? A 41-year-old guy who's never really been in stable long-term relationships.
Bro.
Ain't no way.
It was wild. Ain't no way, boy.
And
He's
she
even
got a
10 years
lot of
older.
personality. That one's she's strong too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely setting up people for madness. And Lindy and Miguel, what's your thoughts on that one, man?
This dude with this cosplay, these costume dress up character. Come on. Like, where did they get these people from? Like, all the dudes, no dude is like a dude's dude. Maybe Nick a little, but the rest of them, they're just they're mush. You know? Talking about cosplay, playing all these games with his friends. It's like, bro, then he's like, I'm not, he just sounded a little much like Steve, but without even the notion of having an app to back him up. This guy just seems very ungrounded. And that's the exact opposite of what she wants. So here you go again. Maths mismatch.
I hear that indeedy. All right, cool. Let's start breaking some of these couples down. Let's start with we just finished with Lindy and Miguel, but let's start with them first and foremost. Let's take a little bit of a deeper look. I'll even bring up a little clip of them as well, so you guys can be reminded of who they were, as well, and you can get involved with the conversation. It's called, guys. If you want to be involved in the conversation and join the panels, have your say on this episode, please do send me an email. We'll have a look at it as well and get you on the panel.
No offense to anybody that's into cosplay. I'm sorry.
Oh no!
Forgive my judgment. I already see the comments. Look,
you coming out already this season.
That's it. I'm not tussling. I told y'all last season. I ain't tussling with nobody.
It's not for me to do that this season, baby. I hear that, Cap, bro. Don't get yourself in no trouble this season. Okay, let's
and give them a second chance, and then find more text messages on somebody's phone and give them another chance, and then a third time.
Oh God.
All right, cool. So this is what Miguel was actually discussing, with his group about, the fact that, he wanted to get married and everything like that. And the friends were discussing, saying, well, just want to be real with you. The last relationship, you got cheated on. And also, it felt like, you saw, not cheat on. You saw several texts over and over again and didn't do anything about it. What was your kind of thoughts around that particular piece as well for yourself, bro?
I'm sorry, my AC was going loud. What part did you say you wanted me to?
Sorry. I'll play a bit more to you can actually listen to it live, actually. Then you can hear it live. If my computer wants to play correctly.
And you're absolutely right, Frankie. The red flags have been glaring, staring me in the face.
And I feel like some people have a lot of barriers and you don't.
So they talked about, obviously, him, being in the last relationship, and basically, the girl was texting other people, I guess, several times over. He caught the text each time and still didn't really do anything about it. And then he's like, your friend saying, a lot of people have barriers, but you don't even have any. So what's your kind of thoughts, overall thoughts around Miguel? And I say overall thoughts. What was your thoughts about Miguel in regards to that kind of comment that they made by the friends?
Well, at our big grown age, once you hit that 30 mark and up, boundaries are key. And if you don't have them, then it's going to be very difficult to navigate how people should be treating you and for people to know how to treat you. So it's looking like pushover. It's looking like, maybe I have a little bit of low self-esteem, so I accept certain behavior. And I'm gonna just keep giving people the benefit of the doubt, even when they don't have the benefit of, when they don't deserve it, or they haven't shown me enough to warrant the benefit of the doubt. Because that's very black and white. If your girl, same thing on the other foot. If a guy is constantly texting other women, it's late at night. What second chance? Why you need a second chance? The first chance is, if you want to go there, go ahead, go for it. But you want to give a second and a third, and now you're making excuses. That shows to me you don't really have good judgment. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. I think also as well with him, I think just listening to how the friends broke him down, it's clear and evident that he doesn't do red flags very well. He avoids, I think they said that he avoids red flags. He gives too many chances to the girls, whatever. Doesn't have a great barrier. And then he's a romantic at heart. Basically, he's a softie. Okay. A softie without any boundaries. And that just leaves you open to attack from, certain dragons in the dungeon. Okay. Every pun intended. And so, unfortunately for him, he's having poor successful relationships because generally he hasn't got no boundaries. I think people don't realize a lot of times when people come on these shows, it's because they haven't done the self-work. The self-work hasn't been done. And therefore they come on these shows and then they tell us certain things. We're like, bro, have you not worked on that? Have you not worked on this? Like, it's a major component as to why either you're single or relationships are not working out for you. And I think for him, the major component is I need to believe that I'm allowed to have boundaries. I need to believe that my needs are essential. I need to believe that my wants are essential. I'm allowed to have wants. I'm allowed to have desires. I'm allowed to have feelings and thoughts. And I feel like he just doesn't have that kind of assertiveness to push that across. And that's going to cause a big issue. And then you got someone like Lindy, who's basically saying, I'm going to run over a man. You know what I mean? Like, if he doesn't stand up for himself, I'm going to run over him. But it's like, even if she didn't say that, she probably would run over him because you ain't got the boundaries. Yep. You know what I mean? It's weak play, man. Weak play. Okay, let's get a little clip from her particular friendship group where they had a discussion about what she is. Because she grew up, they said that she grew up sheltered. She was an overthinker, 7-day Adventist, was strict, and she wanted to be free. And then that her mum basically forced a no sex rule on her, whatever, before marriage. And then she ended up crazily having a one-night stand. So she's a good girl that breaks rules. But apparently she can shut down, according to the friends, if she doesn't get enough food, she can get hangry. But one thing they said was she can be overly emotional. So let's look at that as well. And we'll see how that can affect, talk about how that can affect a relationship as well. If we can get it up as well. Here we go. I'll get this up. Okay, there we go.
He has to be good at handling confrontation because I feel like your emotions can get heightened. Yes. And to have somebody that's can be able to be calm enough to talk you through it if you're
So she gets very emotional. And so she needs somebody who's not going to be overly, I guess, confrontational and emotional as well. What's your kind of thoughts to that, Sean, as well? And
it's like, I have to ask, do they intentionally sabotage people, or do they still, after I don't even know how many seasons of Maps we've seen, think that they can put these people that are so diametrically opposed together? Yeah, I think it's a recipe for disaster, because her friend said she is extremely emotional, right? She and reactive, and knows how to handle conflict. You got to listen to the words. Unfortunately, the friends give you everything. There's the last few seasons that I've been watching Maps with you guys. Yep. I don't think we've ever seen a friend that said something so off, other than maybe, what was the dude last season, Chris? His friends threw him completely under the bus. They threw him under the bus, and it didn't seem to align with anything. But outside of that, I think we see the friends really pointing to specific character flaws. And if she's so drawn to conflict, right, and she can't handle her emotions, she needs somebody to calm her down. He seems to be very much an emo, very sensitive. And look, that's okay. But two emotional people, it's gonna be a kettle bomb.
That's the point.
I just think like, is he just going and is he going to have the skill set? Like, I don't think he's gonna go after her, right? I don't think they'll be arguing, but I think he won't like say, hey, listen, I need you to calm down, because he is conflict averse.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't have the boundaries to set a standard for how she should be in the relationship, So I think that's going to be very, very combative, or not, or can be like, have a lot of theatrics. The other thing is she's like a reformed, extreme religious person. Those people are always going all the way to the extreme,
Other side, yeah.
So if she hasn't gotten full healing from all of that indoctrination and everything like that, that's also something that can just creep up and just run rampant.
I agree that 100%. Yeah, I think also as well, like you said, if both of them are emotional people, or at least he's a very sensitive person, then it just takes, like you said, an argument where sensitivity is involved and you feel some type of way, and then there's a withdrawal, and that withdrawal then can make her feel more emotional, and then there's this push and pull effect where you're trying to bring that person back into alignment, but then they're pulling away at the same time. And just because obviously everybody's trying to read the other person and trying to almost anticipate what the other person's going to do. And then, so yeah, you're right. I think as well, like they said, they need somebody who's going to be able to, handle a confrontation like that. And I'm like, I don't know if that is Miguel. I don't know if he's going to be able to handle the confrontation being like that. I don't know if he's able to regulate the conversation so that, he can lead it in that particular way. I didn't get that energy necessarily from him, if I'm honest with you. I didn't really get that, so then they said obviously she needs a man that isn't passive, and I'm like, I don't know that is would you say Miguel's passive?
Yeah, from what I see, very passive. I mean, look, his friends said that he doesn't have any boundaries. That's a passive person.
There you go.
He's very soft-spoken. He's a romantic, and we know that that's also another idea, another thought process that kind of can backfire if you go into the MAPS process with this romanticized view of what marriage is. You're gonna be disappointed.
Does she give you any? Okay, so let me play a clip so you guys can see, because he admitted some things as well, which I think are quite interesting, because Lindy is a very heavy talker, but he says something interesting that what he actually needs. So I'm just gonna play the clip. Let's see if I can get it out for you guys, right? And I'm like, I don't know if Lindsay's gonna do that, so I'm gonna be interested to see if she can do that, right? Let's see what he said. Let's see if I can get this on the money.
One, to really put in the effort in relationships, and the return on investment has been pretty bad for me. Not many people get me the way I would like to be understood. I need someone open-minded. I need someone that's a good listener, that cares.
Okay. Man said open-minded. I need a good listener. Is that Lindy?
No, because even was it Alexis? She made that
Alexis.
comment that, boy, she's a lot, and she's a talker.
She talks a lot.
And I mean, look, could it be editing? But they just kind of kept going to different scenes of her just woo. That's too much. I can't. I shut down, bro. Like a chihuahua to me. I gotta go. No offense, Jay. Bambi's the exception, but every other chihuahua I know is annoying.
Listen, so if he needs somebody who's going to listen and listen to him very, very well and understanding, this doesn't sound like Lindy right now. This is what I'm trying to say. From what we've seen so far, this doesn't sound like her. I think even you're right. Alexis mentioned and said that she can talk a lot, but she actually cares about what people think about her. Whereas with Lindy, it sounds like she just talks and does not care about what impression she makes. That's what she was saying. And I was just wondering, okay, so she talks a lot. Now you got someone who needs you to listen a lot more. Will she have that ability, that strength to be able to do that? I don't know if she will, and that could be triggering for him. Bearing in mind also the fact that he mentioned about his insecurities later on, you know, and also as well about feeling safe, because the reason why he's lost women is because he can never really rely on these women, and they tend to leave him. I'll just play a little bit of a clip again, so you guys can just remind yourselves again of what he said. You know,
women that I can't really rely on or feel safe with, and it's not for a lack of trying with me. Some people say fate is fictional. I'm taking this.
So for him, again, he's mentioned the fact that, you know what, you know, first of all, most of someone who's going to listen to him so he can feel like he can be satisfied. You know, and he can't feel safe with women. He doesn't always feel safe with women, because he can't rely on them. This is a surefire way to end up dead quickly, because Lindy, she's gonna be talking a lot. She's gonna be doing her own thing. Will she be able to be aware and say, look, do you know what? I need to listen to you. Or even if he says, look, I need you to listen to me more, and he pipes up, will she be able to do that for him? You know, right now, it doesn't seem like that right now. Do you know what I mean?
I think the the other part too is that he said that it's not for lack of trying, right? And I don't know if he has really got to the root cause of the issue, because maybe he's trying, but trying with the wrong person, trying for the wrong things. One, relying on a woman to do what for him, you know. And I'm not saying like as a man, do we need women? Absolutely, but for what? Like, are you looking for her to make you whole? Are you looking for her to fulfill some void that's inside of you? Are you looking for a companion and a partner in your woman? So I think that's the part where it's like, what are you looking for, Miguel? Have you really done the self work to see what your role was in these scenarios? I think that's what I'm not sure of, and I think that's probably what's running the women off, because maybe one will leave, but you know, I don't want to generalize a stereotype, but typically we're the ones that are doing the leaving. You know what I mean? And again, now if you're finding yourself and that's anybody, man or woman, but if you're finding yourself as a man, like the women are leaving you and you're putting your all out there, then what are you putting out there? You know, and it's probably not strength, it's probably not stability, and I think that's what women are looking for from a man. You know, they want stability. And if you're constantly trying to pull from her to get something, that's probably going to be unattractive, you know, and that's going to make it's going to turn another reasons into a desert.
Yeah, and I definitely into a desert, freaking hell. Yeah. That's dry. Gonna be a dry ass. So it's a dap. But yeah, no, you know, absolutely, you're right there, bro. Again, and I really do think, you know, I think with this aspect as well with Miguel, again, it's this is back to what we've been saying, I guess, the last few weeks as well. You know, that we need men to have got themselves sorted so they can be an anchor in the relationship. Nobody's saying you can't share your feelings or your thoughts, or that you can't rest your head on your wife's lap. What we're saying is, as a husband, we want you to be the anchor of your home, which means you're the support, you're the backbone, you're the person holding up the team. Just like any leader in a team, they can also confide in you, but you want your leader to lead, and you don't want you don't want to be seeing your leader all the time at a weak moment for them, you know. Because that's how the vultures circle around and ready to take them out. So in this relationship, I'm looking at Miguel and I'm going, I don't know if he's got the strength right now to be able to lead. I don't know if he's got the strength enough to lead a person. And I think someone said a good point earlier on about the fact that he potentially has that energy where he smothers people, and or there's a fear of abandonment so much, because remember as well, his parents split up early. I think at the age of 10 as well. His mother went wherever she went. You know, to that fear of abandonment can really lead you to some really extreme behaviors. You know, whether you want to cling too tight or whether you just step back so far the person doesn't even realize you're in a relationship with them. Either way, there is some type of reaction that you have which is causing people to not be able to stay. He's experiencing the exact same thing that his mum did to his dad. Why is that? Why are you experiencing the exact same thing your dad went through in a marriage, and you're experiencing in a relationship? Women keep leaving you, or women keep cheating on you. It means there's something not quite right with the way that you're dealing with things, and the way that you're going about things. First of all, like you said, there are boundaries. But two, are you able to speak up and actually express how you feel? Are you able to do that in a constructive way? Are you able to are you also able to have a vision for your family and where you want to go and what you see for your life? Do you have a direction? Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, give us something, because it just feels like you're just at a moment a bit wish-wash, hogwash. You know what I'm saying? Now, someone said obviously this key moment here, a key point here. Do you agree with this particular comment here? Is it? Do you think not all men are that need to be a leader?
I mean, if I'm silent for a long time, it's like, I'm struggling. I think yes. I think we do. Now, that doesn't mean it. Now, the type of leader that a man needs to be is different. Now, every man, not all men lead in the same way, but yes, I do think that I'm gonna have to disagree with you, DeSalsa. Love you to pieces, but I think we do, and I think everybody's style is not going to be the same. Some people are traditional, some people are modern, but I don't. I think you see those relationships where it's flip flopped. You always kind of see the man feeling a little henpecked, in slight ways. Even when you see those relationships, whether it's people, celebrities that you can see, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And again, I don't think it means like you sit down, you eat, you go to sleep, you fix food, you clean, like not caveman leadership, but naturally men lead and women have a different, like you put a woman with a child innately, for the most part. Yes, not every woman is mothering and nurturing, absolutely, but just you look at the span, you put 100 women in the room, the majority of those women, you stick them with a baby, they're going to just naturally bond, especially if that baby came from them. That's all I'm saying. So the same way for a man, that is a natural position that we enjoy and that we, for the most part, revel in.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. I mean, I think every man wants to be able to lead. I just think that some people give up. I think some people just give up because I think they don't have. If you don't have the natural attributes, you have to learn how to grow those attributes. And I think some people just not really. Some people just give up before it gets to that point. I think some men just conform and say, do you know what, frick it, this is me. I'm gonna just do it, rather than actually learning some skills and some tools to be able to learn how to be able to lead effectively. You know what I mean? I think a lot of men do give up. I think they see it's almost like, as well, it's the same way that us men give up is how in general society will give up when it comes to going after certain goals and ambitions. Sometimes it just seems too hard. And then, you know what? This is just me. This is just going to be me. Do you know what I mean? I will say there are different levels, like you said, there are different levels to this leadership thing as well, and there are different styles of leadership. I think if we celebrated more different styles of leadership, would be able to. There'll be more men who will be able to lead more effectively. I think also, and that's a society thing. If we celebrated more different styles of leadership, there isn't just one style of leadership. But there are key components to leadership that are important. Number one, like we said with Miguel, first and foremost. First of all, boundaries. You can't be a good leader if you ain't got good boundaries. You can't be a good leader. I know you see that comment, Sean. You can't be a good leader if you don't have really necessarily a vision. You can't be a good leader if you don't know how to also hold yourself accountable as well as your team accountable. It's very difficult to be able to be a good leader if you don't know how to take decisions or you don't know how to execute. You don't have to do things from start to finish. Like, if you're not motivated either to, go forward. And so, yeah, I think there are some men that will just give up and just say, this is just me, and I'll just happily, go in, in a driver's seat, in a passenger seat, and let it go on. So I definitely think, and again, leadership in this aspect as well, for me, when it comes to leadership, there's a greater responsibility. If you're calling yourself a leader, there is a greater responsibility. In fact, even the Bible says those who teach, the judgment is different for you. So if you're calling yourself a leader of a home, of a relationship, marriage, whatever, that's a higher position you're being called to, in terms of responsibility. So it's not a small thing. And so I can understand why some men just said, that's just not me. I don't want responsibility. You know what I mean? They shirk away. But I would say, that what woman also too wants to be wants to be masculine energy all the time, leading relationships. It's tiring. Yo, I know it's tiring because it's tiring for me. So you know what I mean? For women to want to be in that position, I think I would say there are always outliers. There are always exceptions, but I think the general consensus would want a man to lead and provide, protect, and serve their family. But again, there are always outliers to that situation. Do you know what I mean? Any other additions, Sean, to that?
Yeah, I would say too, like the other part of it, and I think just like people get all crazy and triggered when they hear the word submission, right? And I think because it's taking on different meanings, it's taking on different concepts. And I think that's the same thing for leadership, right? We forget that the model of how a man should lead comes from Jesus Christ, right? When we think of that traditional, it's a Judeo-Christian concept, and it comes from Jesus Christ. And he was the ultimate leader, but he was a servant leader. So we forget that, right? And many people made fun of Jesus. Many people mocked him because of his approach, his style, his unorthodox way about going about things, and the things that he accepted and tolerated. But he was the ultimate leader. So I think if we look to him in that regard as the formula, then we would be better off, because it's not I'm going to beat you into submission and you just going to follow and I'm going to drag you along type of mentality that we should have. It kind of has morphed into that because as humans, that's our ego is fed by that. It feels good. And as men, ego is a big driver of us, right? So that's the part that we need to die to. And I'm not trying to preach tonight, but I think like that's where we just get all, we start fussing and fighting and tussling over this leader word, when really that's what the model is. That's what it should be. It's not about, I tell you what to do and I make more money than you, so you have to listen to me. It's not about that. It should be love. It should be deference. It's respect on both sides. It's me thinking ahead. It's me putting your needs before mine, and you seeing that over the course of time. So that trust is built. So it's not that you just feel like Sean's doing X because he just wants to get his own way. No, I trust Sean because I've seen what he's done. I know his heart. I hear how he handles me. That's what it should be.
100%. Final question before we move to the next couple. Partners and co-lead. What's your thoughts on that then?
Ain't no co-leaders, ain't no two CEOs. If you go to any business, listen, Kojo, we were in banking. I'm still in banking, right? I was the branch manager in my past. There were no two branch managers. There was a branch manager and an assistant manager, right? So yeah, there are two people, in any business, in anything, no, ain't no co-leaders. One person, and how we lead. And I think it just goes back to that, it's how we do it, right? And again, I think the model is Jesus Christ, right? So how we go about doing that, how I'm consultative, those are all the different leadership styles, right? So AWICU, yeah, the collaboration is a leadership style, but collaboration, if I lead collaboratively, it does not mean that we are co-leading together. It means as a manager or a leader, I am collaborative in my approach with you. So for you, AW, you might need a man that is collaborative in their approach because that's what's necessary, right? But it doesn't mean the two of you are leaders. And it doesn't mean just because he's the leader and you're technically not, it doesn't mean you go wake up in the morning and you look for a list of instructions on how to live your life. No, that's not what that means. I think, again, we just hear the word leader and it's like, oh, I don't have authority. I don't have a say on what I do. I don't get to make decisions for myself. That's not what that means. It's not what that means.
At least that's not good. That's not good leadership when it happens like that.
Exactly. That's not what good leadership means. Great add to that.
No, you're right, bro. He was on ball. Yep, I don't know to add you. He was on that. That boy said, "Careful, Sean. You know to go look after you."
Look. You know. No. I'm not tussling. No. I ain't doing it.
Someone said, perfect explanation as well. Someone said, so I love that. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, Kristen and Mitch. I'll play a clip before we talk about them, but they were obviously an interesting couple too. In fact, like I said, all the couples this season have some interesting quirks about them, and what's interesting. So let's have a little clip from Kristen first and foremost. Let me see. 2810. Let's go to this one and see. Let's go to this one and see. All right, beautiful stuff. There we go.
Savings on. About 2 weeks before I was supposed to get married, my fiance's mistress approached me and told me that they had been sleeping together for the past.
It's just so sad when you hear stories like this. She put her whole life savings into a marriage, and unfortunately, the partner cheated on her, and she found out because the mistress actually reached out to her. Shout out to girls always coming to you as a woman. So that was Christian's side of things. What do you think about Christian? What was your thoughts on Kristen and her particular, bio and behavior and everything like that?
Look, there's always gonna be that one girl that's gonna fall into your DMs and find the girl and tell her. I just, shout out to Cynthia G, but I just see Cynthia G getting a hold of that. And she's like, I bet she was with a black man. That's a black man behavioral characteristic right there.
Oh man.
If not, listen, there's cheaters of all races. If Kristen's fiance was not a brother, there's cheaters of all races, and this is another example.
Trust me, bro. It's across the board, brother.
It's across the board.
cheated, and let her pay for. Well, I don't know if it's paid for more of it, but
she said she sunk her life savings into the wedding, which sounds a lot like brother was dusty.
Bringing the money. Yeah, that's just that real dust there.
That's the dust kicking up. That's the sawdust.
You know what I mean? Sounds like that kind of dust, and I guess it's not a black man this time. I guess dust doesn't have a discriminatory color.
Exactly.
Really?
It's equal opportunity. The dust floats wherever it goes.
Yep, indeed. And obviously that man actually said and I see some comments on here as well that she found him on the couch. Actually, I remember this as well. So she found him sleeping on her friend's couch, on his friend's couch. That probably should have been the first early warning sign. What's your kind of thoughts to that? Was that a red flag that she ignored and she missed, or is that something that can happen, for somebody?
Yeah, I think, listen, you got to go back to where you started, right? So, and that's root causing, right? So, and I think that's the one thing I had to learn, right? Sometimes you got to go, we start at the middle or we start at the end, right? She started at the end of what happened, but did you get to the root? So you met him on a air mattress. Lady, come on. Like, what you were expecting greatness. You were expecting, all this to be, great. And you pretty much lifted him up. So you built a bear. I'm sure she poured into him and she just romanticized the whole thing. And look, he has a responsibility too. But if we're talking about her, where did you find them? So I think for anybody, like, where did you find your spouse? Where were they when you met them? Now, it doesn't mean they have to be perfect and fully formed, but do they have the basics? And to me, as a grown adult, sleeping on couches is not, you don't have a good foundation. You need to sit on the bench and get your life together.
Yeah,
And
oh, sorry, go on, bro. Go on, carry
yeah,
on.
no, and I was just gonna say, and for you to invest time and energy in that does say something about you and your belief system and how you're gonna manage relationships. So I think that's what she needs to get to, that part.
No, I definitely hear that as well. I think yeah, you're right. I think she missed a vital red flag in that instance. And that someone, as he said, Bob the Builder, man builder, Bob the bear builder, building bears, whatever you want to call it. That's what she was doing in that sense. And again, that is oftentimes because we're so desperate to want a person. And also as well, pride as well, because once you complete that Bob the Building, you get to have the asset at the end, the trophy at the end. So yeah, that was a key thing to kind of notice that, okay, so you made a mistake there where you so desperately want to love that you believe this person who's on the couch could be something special. Now, to be fair to her, I mean, they did 5 years, and she only found out what 6 months, before the wedding, whatever, how many months it was before the wedding. I don't know how long I don't know how long he was cheating for, but hey. But I think that was questionable. I think that's something to look into about how she makes decisions. Does she really fully investigate the decisions she makes before she does it? Is she going to take her time and observe a little bit before she makes a decision, or will she just be rash and she does things instinctively and feeling based? And if that's the case, then feeling based is cool, but it does lead you into trouble because you don't oftentimes make the right decisions because you're allowing your emotions to kind of lead you in the way that in making these certain decisions. But 5 years is a very long time in that relationship. Do you know what I mean? But hopefully she'll learn some key skills. I like the fact that she turned it around and said, "Look, we still went on the wedding trip and enjoyed ourselves." But yeah, that's something that you might have to look into. Maybe she's not very good at decision making, or at least spotting the wolves in sheep clothing. Maybe she's not very good at that. But I think again, the feeling based, emotion based, and being led by emotions can be a very dangerous thing for her going forward as well. Any other thoughts on Kristen?
Yeah, no, I think before I say what I'm about to say, I want to just add to what you said. I think like people that truly can make lemonade out of lemons, there's something to be said for that type of person. Like I love that personality. Like there's women that I've been around or either in relationships with or just even friends with, and something wrong happens and they're like, okay, let's just make the best of this bad situation.
Yeah.
There's something for, because in a relationship, you're going to have your ups, your downs, you're going to have bad situations. And if you guys can take that energy and bring that into the relationship, and that's your approach, man, that's a beautiful thing. So I do like that about her, and that says a lot about her ability to overcome issues, her ability to not like get so weighed down when a problem comes. And I think that's a good characteristic to have. So I like that about her. The other thing that I would say is was a little kind of red flaggish from me about her was that she waited till the day of to tell her dad. Now I saw on the after party, she explained it a little with Keisha. She said she was trying to connect with her dad, blah, blah, blah. They never could connect. But it just kind of all boiled down to she was afraid because she felt like she was making yet another impulsive decision. And sometimes that fear could be a signal for yourself to say, I'm doing just that very thing. So I think like if you're getting that reservation to tell your dad, it's probably because maybe you're making another impulsive decision that might not work out, right? So I don't know. That kind of gave me pause.
These guys are going in. Yeah, definitely. I think and someone just kind of mentioned it. I was gonna say it. it was interesting that she didn't want to tell her father until the day of the wedding. First of all, that's crazy. We'll say that now, right? You're not just about to dump on the day of a wedding in 2 weeks' time. I mean, you're already dumping it the fact you're 2 weeks before you get wedded. But to dump it on a person and say, I'm just going to tell him to get his tux or suit on and tell him that, in 2 weeks' time he's going to walk me down the aisle, it's crazy, right? But then when you really deep it as well, the person just kind of laid out quickly. I was going to lay it out, but they've done it well. Is that there is a fear of your father's approval or disapproval, better I should say, of this action. There's a fear, there's repercussions if he says something about it because you don't feel comfortable with what he's going to say, right? Like he might say no, or he doesn't like this, and that may hurt or dampen the way you feel about the situation. Therefore, maybe making you rethink strategy. And I think maybe she wants to be locked in. Maybe she doesn't want to have a conversation that's going to change her mind or make her feel bad about the decision she's taking. But my thing is, it's just like, why bother telling your dad the day of the thing and not just tell him earlier, right? Give yourself some time to adjust. You tell him on the day of the wedding. What if he says he doesn't want to walk down the aisle? Like, what if he says, I don't want to walk down the aisle? What if he says, like, you sprung this on me, I don't want nothing to do with this? You know what I mean? It's almost as if what she's doing is hiding her head in the sand. It's the I do my work at last minute vibe. That's the I'm at university, I'm at college, I do my work at last minute and turn it in. That's what she's giving me. You know what I mean? Like I'm impatient. I don't want to feel any pain if he says no, and then have to wait a week and a half or whatever to the wedding day with that over my head. I'd rather just get him on the spot. If he says no, I'm already here, kind of thing. It's like, babe, like I hear you, but I think I think there could be some issues there as well, in terms of the father figure and how much say he has, and how much sway he has when he says something to her. Maybe that's also a part of it as well. So yeah, it's just interesting to see, Kristen not wanting to tell her father until last minute into his dare. It's just kind of a bit weird to do that. Do you know what I mean? Let me get another. Oh, you want to go for it, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's something maybe, Coach, you can explore at another juncture. But I think the parent-adult relationship and how that impacts us and how we navigate that is such an important conversation to be had, because I don't know that parents know how to deal with us as adults, and we know how to deal with our parents as adults all the time. Some parents smoothly navigate the process, but I find that many parents have a difficulty accepting their children's transition into adulthood. And then we wind up still caught up in that child parent relationship, and I see that with her because ultimately you're making a decision. You've chosen to go on maths. You obviously want your father's support, but if you are confident in the decision that you've made and you feel like you're making it for the right reasons, whether he's on board or not, you should just be like, look, Dad, this is what it is, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I would love it if you're here. I really want your support. And be like, look, if you can't rock with that, then this is the choice that I've come to, right, wrong, or indifferent. I've got to learn my lesson, right? But she was so like, well, I can't imagine getting married if my dad doesn't support me. So who's getting married here? You or your father? That's the part where I just have I kind of like struggle with that a little bit. You got to get to that place. And I think we just all don't know how to navigate those relationships with our parents. Some of our parents were very heavy-handed, so we have still that fear of approaching them. But once we become adults, look, I'm grown. I'm grown.
2 feet.
Yeah, 10 tones down.
No, you're definitely right. And again, this is that's one of the difficulties when you almost overparent or hold on too long. I think when there's an over dependence on the parent giver and not enough time spent giving that child some independence, then they question their own ability to make judgments. Because it's a hard balancing act as well, because trying to find a level where you're able to make your own decision and do so and come to your own volition, that's also very difficult for parents, like you said, to be able to give their children that, because some parents are operating from, like you said, from a place of fear, which is, I don't want my daughter to get hurt, I don't want my son to get hurt, I've got to hold on to them, I've got to teach them, I've got to just, and sometimes you actually just you also have to sometimes come to a conclusion, let experience teach them, let life teach them. Sometimes some of these lessons will not be able to be taught by us through us speaking or trying to withhold. But yeah, the way she wanted to tell him last minute, again, kind of signified, I think it signified something to us as well about what kind of relationship they have, that she would want to wait to last minute. How does she see her father, in the sense of, I'll still go down the aisle of him, but I'll just say something last minute, so he almost can't back out of it. Do you know what I mean? So there's an indication there. I think that's a highlight for anybody coming into it. And you're right, you want to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and make your own decisions. If you're not able to do that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get into a marriage, and the same thing's going to happen there. Your dad's going to have some say, or as soon as he says something, it's going to really affect you in the marriage and in the relationship, and that's going to affect your marriage in the long term. Do you know what I mean?
100%. And Lenlin just made a comment, right? But and I think, yeah, that's what she said. She said she didn't want to ask because she didn't want to put him on a roller coaster ride like the last time. But this is what I think. It's either going to be like the roller coaster with the loop, or it's going to be the free fall. And she's hitting him with the free fall. It's still an amusement park ride nonetheless, right? Because it's one of them is a quick hit and the others is loops and all this other stuff and drops. But you're putting him through it regardless. So I think it's the fear for me. What I see when I'm like digging deeper into it, it's fear. She can say what she wants, but really, people, you're doing it because you're scared. Either you're scared of his reaction, you're scared of how you're not confident to be able to speak to what you're doing. So I think like there's something in that parent-father daughter dynamic where she's not free enough to just talk. And I think that's where parents need work. You need to give, as a parent, and listen, I have stepchildren, so I learned a little bit there, but I don't have biological kids. But the one thing I learned from being a step parent is just what you said earlier. You have to step back and give them their breathing room, especially when they're in that young adult phase, because parents sometimes forget you made mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You made mistakes. You messed up big time. And you learned from it, and you're okay, and you're still here to tell the story. So as parents, we may foresee or feel like, oh, I know what that next step is going to be, but you got to give them the room so that they can do it. And as an adult, you can't be crippled by fear to not stand on your own self, because then that's just going to continue to whittle away at you and your confidence.
I hear that 100%. You smacked it, bro. Absolutely smacked it. I like that, actually. That's good. That's a good deep kind of analysis of Kristen as well. Let's talk about Mitch then. Yeah, let's talk about Mitch. Mitch was interesting, and he's a rebel. He's a very big rebel. I want to just get to a part where his brother advised him to chill on the rebel stuff. Like, it's not every day on the rebel. And, let's get a little perspective on him as well. All right, cool. Let's bring this up so you guys can see who Mitch really is.
You've been kind of a rebel, and you've always resisted conforming. There's going to be arguments, and the one thing I would say is, like, try not to say anything that you are going to have trouble taking back. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? When you see those two brothers there, right? My first instinct is two brothers, same household. One is more sensitive to how words are being said. The other one is like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say it how I want to say it. You know what I mean? Like, and the other, the brother on the left is like, man, I've dealt you for so long, bro. You just be saying it out loud, blasé, and I love that, but bro, it don't be working, man. And the other brother's like, I don't give a hoot. I'm gonna say how I'm gonna say it. But what was your thoughts to Mitch? And his him as a candidate.
I mean, the brother was giving him some sage advice. So I mean
Man,
that's great advice. And I believe the brother is married too, right?
yep.
So I
He's
think that's who you want to take your advice from. And he was like, "Listen, I know you want to shoot from the hip. I know you know, because I don't see him as being like one of those guys that's like obnoxious. Like I don't see that as Mitch, or like being like aggressive and heavy-handed. I think he just shoots from the hip, or he just says it. You know, he says what comes off the top of his head, and if it rubs you the wrong way, it just might do that. And he's like, "What?" You know, he's like, "What? What did I say? I mean, blah blah blah." So I think the brother was trying to help him to like frame his words, to be more deliberate, because you could say the wrong thing and it could set you back. Because in a marriage, boy, oh boy, I know you say that one thing and you're like, oh, why the hell did I say that? And this is me talking from me. So I think he's trying to help him in that area. Mitch, he makes me nervous though, because Mitch, I just don't feel like he's stable. I feel like he is very like kind of like as the wind blows. And I don't know if that is going to work with Kristen. You know, him not really being in solid relationships at 41. I mean, I don't know. So I just think that kind of gives me some pause. The one thing he did to say that cracked me up was he was like, "I hope she likes to be called wifey, because that's from my favorite R&B songs." So I was like, let me find out Mitch got some soul to him. But outside of that, that's my real thoughts. I'm nervous. I don't think it's gonna work out for those two. I don't see it very early for them to.
Yeah, I think you know what Mitch is just Mitch is a person who, you know what, never really got into relationships, just did his own thing, he's an advocator in his own right, but relationships just wasn't high on his priority list. And that makes him inexperienced. And the difficulty is, just like we saw with Sabrina from Ready to Love, advocators who are like this can struggle in relationships, because your relationship is not a space to advocate. Okay, your relationship is about is about you guys coming together as a team to work together, and sometimes that advocator spirit can advocate in a relationship. And since your partner is not a motive, your partner is not an agenda, they're not these particular things. What can happen? I think that's why the brother was also warning him, letting him know, bro, you can say some stuff. Those stuff that you say, fine if you're advocating in the streets, but when you're in a relationship, that's got to be toned down. I think what that shows is the brother's not seen enough of a side of him that's able to what we call code switch, understanding code switching, understanding when you advocate and when at what times you know how to behave. Maybe it's been at certain house parties or functions. He's still advocating. You're having a barbecue and he turns it into an argument about plastic. Maybe he's one of those guys. That his brother's like looking at him saying, "Oh, come on, bro. There's a time and a place for everything." Like people know me, and I do a lot of stuff around church, preaching and stuff like that. Is it every time I'm going to see a Christian, I'm going to talk about, bro, your church is a mashup thing? That's not every time. You got to know that it's not every day, that you're going to be advocating. Not every day you're going to be debating. Can you have a normal conversation? Are you a normal human being? Can you bring other stuff into it? Like, I get it. You want to pick up your trash. You want to pick up your plastic. But you spend the majority of the time, if this is a woman, we'll be cussing them the same way. You spend the majority of the time focusing on plastic that you ain't even realize you plastic. You ain't got much depth to you. Sorry about that, guys. Can you hear me now? Yeah, fantastic. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, he hasn't got much of that relationship experience, and so because of that lack of a relationship experience now, that could be detrimental in terms of how he relates to Kristen as well. How do you handle conflict? How do you handle having to compromise, like his brother said? How do we move forward? How do you handle us to maybe disagreeing and having to put it on hold to focus on other more important things right now? Like, there's a lot of things that, him not being in a relationship for very long, or even being in a relationship at all, I don't know if it was that case, it's going to show up in this relationship. It's going to be how he handles those adversities that are going to be very, very interesting. What's your thoughts, Sean?
Yeah, I think that's like the brother. Much respect, because he said a lot without throwing him under the bus. And I think he did a good job of really kind of setting the stage for how he should go into this, like the mind space you should go into this process with. Now, does Mitch have that? I'm not seeing it. And I don't know if at 41, because once you hit 40, and this is from somebody that is 40, right? You get very settled into a way of being. Does it mean you can't change? Absolutely not. But is Mitch the person that's willing to change? Is he open to doing some things drastically different? And I think to be successful in a marriage at 40 plus and not having a real foundational reference point of how to navigate that, I just think it's not gonna come naturally to him, and he's gonna struggle. And I think Lindsay, on the other hand, is Kristen, I'm sorry, she's very headstrong too. So I just don't know if she's gonna have the tolerance to be able to deal with that and him. And will he see it? Or is he one of those people that's like, just accept me as I am and not feeling like he needs to change? That I think we need to see more. Like, is he open to change? Is he open to do the work? Is he open to, and this is where the leader thing comes from. It doesn't mean that he's not a leader because he's taken some key points from his wife on some things that he needs to do better and differently, right? It doesn't mean that. But I think in this very instance, he's going to have to do that. And is she going to be willing to do it? And does she have the skill set to be able to do it too? Those are all the questions that are going to need to come together in order for them to work out. I don't think they will. It might happen, but that's what needs to happen in order for them to have a successful marriage.
Yeah, I definitely hear you on that, bro. In fact, I've got a little clip I want to play as well of him. Just that I think it'll be interesting to just listen to as well. If I can get it. Okay.
I'm a bit of a loudmouth. I have a very inappropriate sense of humor, but
I mean, my biggest flaw
it's just I've had commitment issues.
Yeah, he has commitment issues. That's a major red freaking flag that is waving itself around. He has commitment issues, and that is big because whenever there's commitment issues, and especially when you haven't really been in a relationship as well, there is a major red flag on your square where we're not sure whether you will abandon ship as soon as something doesn't go the way you want it to go, right? Soon as the thing doesn't line up with you, sir, you could be out the building, or that quick mouth that you got gonna come right out. You're gonna come right out to protect yourself. You know what I mean? So instead of suffering the pain, like his brother was saying, you haven't had to deal with certain hardships and relationships. That's what he meant. You're just gonna duck and dive, or you're gonna run your gums, and that will not save your marriage. I think this is gonna be the biggest learning curve for Mitch in his entire life. I mean, marriage is the biggest learning curve for anybody in general, but I think for him, most of us get a little bit of relationship learns from our past experiences. I think this is going to be a big steep learning curve for him. One thing I would say though is that obviously he looked after his niece for about a year and a half, so he has some kind of fatherhood, parental experience underneath his belt. So becoming a father, I don't think he'll have a problem. But it's just a relational aspect with a woman that could be very, very difficult as well.
And I think that the child-adult relationship is very different than the adult-adult relationship, right? Because typically, and he was in a caregiving role. So she was looking to him to take care of her for that season in his life.
That's fair enough.
And I don't think that's what the energy that Kristen is going to be giving. You have to learn how to deal with an adult. I think it's great for down the line if he were to become a dad. I think that shows that, you know, he has patience and care to take care of a child that, you know, in that capacity. But for his relationship skills, and then in that clip, it was like he said, I think my biggest issue is my commitment issue, you know, that I'm commitment avoidant. I'm paraphrasing, but he said he has a loud mouth and he just shoots off at the hip. Like in a relationship, those are, you're planting landmines. Sometimes they're explosive bombs. You say the wrong thing, or if you go after somebody in the wrong moment, like that's a big problem. That's something you got to work on. You know, you got to be able to pull it back. That's a big issue. And it's not something that's not overcomable. But if you don't think that that's ranking high on the list, or if some people think like, you know, like how we've said in the past, like we see people that come on maps and everybody, their family is like, oh, they're a lot. They're a lot. No, they're a lot is a euphemism for they have problematic behavior. And people have laughed it off. And now it's become normalized. No. You shooting off your mouth inappropriately at the wrong time, saying inappropriate things is a no bueno, and you're likely offending a lot of people. So you need to work on that. You need to learn to self-edit. So yeah, it's a problem.
Bro, I love that as well, what you said there, bro, about how when families say that they're a lot, what it means is none of us want to deal with him. None of us want to deal with him, but he's our family, so we got to deal with him, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, we give him an extended grace. But you're actually right about that inappropriate comment. When people say, I say things inappropriately, I'm just, in my head, I think to myself, you don't have any concept of time, season, and when certain things are allowed to be said or should be said. And you've made it a personality trait that, oh, that's just me. You know, I just say wild things. But really and truly what it is that you got no filter and you don't have respect for people around you, because if this is offending people or it's going to offend people, why do you want to have the space to kind of say it? So yeah, you're definitely right about that. And that bleeds into a relationship as well, because you'll say things that are inappropriate to your partner. That's why the brother was warning him that you can't take back, you know, and once you start, you know, going down that lane, it's a very dangerous place to be. You know, you can't drop that I was just joking, or, you know, don't take it seriously, it's just me kind of thing. No, I'm going to take it seriously because it is you. And I'm trying to develop a relationship with you. So I'm going to take it very seriously. You know, so I don't know. It's one of those things. Yeah, I'm looking at him and I'm like, yeah, he's a problem. If I'm honest with you, he's a problem. No relationship experience, kind of rude, or at least inappropriate, I should say, with comments. Like, yeah, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good, bruv. Yeah, you know, it's not looking good at all. All right, cool. Next couple we're going to deal with. Let's deal with Morgan and Benny. Morgan and Benny. Let's talk about them. Morgan and Benny, what was your thoughts? Oh, in fact, before I say what's your thoughts, let's play a little clip first and foremost, and that'll be helpful, in it, so people can at least remember who they were. Morgan and Benny. Now, she said something really interesting, actually, Morgan, because she was talking about not having a relationship with her father, which is quite interesting.
Sucked. My career sucked, and I had no relationship between me and my father. It was everything all at once. I was gaining weight. I was unhappy with how I looked.
Now, Sean, what's your thoughts to Morgan? She's the fighter, the samurai, the warrior. What's your thoughts tonight, man?
I'm trying to be measured, but I think that, yeah, we just need to bring the strength down in the room. You know, she seems like a nice young lady, but it's a lot of strength coming forward, and that's a lot, you know. And I think also, you know, talking about the daddy issues, unresolved daddy issues, oh, that's a red flag. I'm running. I'm out. You're like, my dad this, my dad that.
It's a track star, baby.
I can't fix it. Therapy. I can refer you to Zen Care. They can help you. Trust me. It's not gonna work. Unresolved daddy issues is a recipe for a disaster. And for her to have like no, you know, relationship or a very bad relationship. And yeah, you know, Yeah.
I definitely hear you on that, bro. I think what's interesting is I think the fear that I have for Morgan and Benny, or from Morgan's side first and foremost, because we were talking about Morgan, is the fact that the gray space that she's going to be in, and I mean that in the sense of she's just found her strength. Any attempt to try and bring her down will seem like you're attacking her, and will seem like you're trying to take her back to a place where she just came from. And I think that's why it's too soon, because you need that. We sometimes we go from one polar extreme to the other polar extreme, and then we find our balance. Someone says Bin, not Benny. My bad. Okay, Bean.
I didn't know how to pronounce his name either. Usually I try to help with the phonetics, but I was lost.
Yeah, Bean. But with Morgan, I feel like she's still in that transition period of like it was only last year, so she's still finding that transition period of voice. And so coming off strong, when people say like, other people got to deal with me, it's not me. I'm like, yeah, baby, if you're coming off strong, yeah, you might want to look at you, no one else. Just look at you. If you keep getting the same complaints that men feel intimidated or scared or annoyed or they feel like it's too much, you might want to look at you. But in terms of Morgan's situation, what I would say is that with Morgan, it's really a case of the fact that I think she can be swinging from one extreme to the other extreme. So she was weak before, she was depressed, things weren't going right, and then she finds her strength. She's now strong, she's educated, she's getting on track of things. Life is going her way as well, and everything like that. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, now I'm strong. I'm gonna stay there in that place because I like that strength that I have. It's different from what I had before. But then any kind of change to that strength could become a problem. Because she can see it as an attack on her change that she's come into. She can see it as, you're trying to drag me back to where I was beforehand. Oh, no, honey, I'm not going to be dragged back there. And that can also be an issue as well for them. But I think overall with Morgan, it's more of a case of the assertiveness. Her friends even said that she's a leader, not a follower. And I said at that point, that's a very beautiful way of saying that she doesn't know how to follow. That's a beautiful thing to say that she doesn't yield. That's a beautiful thing saying she doesn't submit. That's a beautiful thing saying she's going to argue with you till their cows come home. There is co-leadership in this household with her. Okay? All right? There ain't none of that leadership stuff around here. We co-leaders. That's what she gonna be saying.
I learned a new word. It's egalitarian, like Shamboody said.
Oh, you do the Kenneth.
I was like, boop.
Egalitarian. We equals here.
I'm out.
Absolutely, bro. Well, any more thoughts on Morgan?
I mean, are we gonna go to Ben or are we gonna?
We'll go to Ben in a second.
Yeah, I think yeah, no, that's it. I need to see more because I don't want to say things because I haven't seen enough to make a full assessment of what I truly think. So I want to give her the benefit of the doubt to see a little bit more. But I'm leaning exactly towards what you just shared about her being very resistant to hearing opposing views or being, domineering.
I love that. All right, cool.
I like my freedom and my independence and my control.
He needs to understand that
Yeah.
you are powerful.
Yeah.
And if he can't handle that, it's not going to work.
It's just who I am as a person.
So, wait, hold on a minute. See, this is why I said people are messed up. She said, I just need control, and I'm a strong person, It's just who I am as a person. But you just said like last year you were struggling and you was down the dumps. You really weren't that strong. Yeah. So it's not you as a person. It's something that you've developed. You've developed some coping strategies to make you stronger in the way that you deal with life. It's not you as a person. That's what I'm talking about. These people will be saying things and making it, this is me. Accept me as me. This is but that's not you. That's just a thing that you've learned.
Yes.
You know what I mean? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think that's a product of the culture that we have. Like women stick all those little Post-it notes on their mirror and they tell themselves affirmations in the morning. I am great. I am wonderful. I am powerful. Even she said, I'm powerful. It's like, okay, I mean, I don't want you to be weak, but like powerful means what? Like, what does that mean? Like, are you just throwing out these adjectives or powerful in what way? Like, because you've learned martial arts, or are you powerful because of the way you think? Are you powerful because of how you navigate life? Are you powerful because you know yourself and you are continuing to work on yourself and you're learning your flaws? Like, and I think people mismanage that, or like kind of mismanage that. Oh, I'm powerful. Strength is physically is great. It's wonderful to have that, to be able to defend yourself. But the true power is to know you and do self work, right? Because it sounds like she was hurt and she felt like she was like diminished. So people feel like the opposite of that is I can never let somebody do that to me again. Okay, that's step one. Step two is, what in me allowed me to be subjugated in that way? What in me needs to grow to get better? What am I looking for in a relationship? Because that power, you taking that power into a relationship, it's just going to be two people fighting for power, if that's your outlook. And that's not what a functional, healthy relationship is going to be successful with, somebody exerting power onto another person. So I just feel like she needs to reassess.
Yeah, and I think I took into account what she said. She said, I like the control. I need the control. And that for me screams a lot. Because you know what? That's going to be what's going to happen in a relationship. She's going to end up control. And Ben is not no strong boy either. He's a mama's boy. So she's going to end up controlling that boy. Unless that boy's got a temper or something like that, she's going to end up controlling him, you know? And she set herself up for that, because the way she spoke about herself: I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm this. Of course, be those things, but not to a point of detriment of saying, you know, you need Superman basically to be able to save you, because Clark Kent ain't enough. Like, it's, you know, it's giving to me somebody who, like I said, has gone through a change and gone from an extreme situation from one thing to another, and I think she has gained confidence from overcoming her situation. But sometimes that confidence can be a false idol in itself. Like, you thinking to yourself, I'm changed, I'm grown, I am this and that, and then you get something and it humbles you quick. Like, sometimes we get too big for our boots, we get too excited about the change we think we're making, that we overestimate ourselves in relationships, and then you get humbled and you're like, actually no, that's not it. And so I'm saying in the sense of, for Morgan, it's like, you know, your friends are not even holding you accountable, because they should be telling you, listen, you're a bit much, to your face. You're a bit much. You're competitive. You're loud. You're aggressive. You want to control things. You're a bit much. You need help. That's what our friends should be doing, holding her accountable. You know what I mean?
100%. I was just looking at a comment that April Johnson posted. Man, it was a quote by Miles Monroe. It's at the, there you go. Oh man, that right there. I think that speaks a lot. So yeah, and the friends, I think, and sometimes, like, we have friends that are well-intentioned, but they miss the mark, you know, because they want to pump us up, because they know our story, right? They know what we've been through, so they want to, like, egg us on. You got this. You go out there. He needs to know that you're powerful. He needs to accept that, and that's that. Like, but what does that mean? Like, and in an argument, if you're wrong and powerful, that's bad, right? So yeah, you want to have power and not let somebody manipulate you, not let somebody take advantage of you, not somebody abuse you in any way, emotionally or otherwise, right? But power needs to be yielded. It needs to yield as well, right? So I don't think they're pumping her up like a hot balloon that's just gonna burst. So I don't like that. I didn't like that scenario. I don't like that conversation, because that's how you get bad advice from friends, and then you go fueled into a marriage, and then you start fighting with your friends' voices in your head. And that for me is like, you know, you need to be giving her both sides of the coin, right? You know, yes, you want to be powerful. Yes, you want to know who you are. You want to be comfortable, and you don't want somebody to just tell you what to do, but also be willing to hear, be willing to listen. You're not always going to be right. There's things that person can add value to. Be open to listen and learn, right? And that's how it should be, working both ways.
Definitely hear you on that, bro. Definitely hear you on that. Love that. And a good points there as well. All right, let's a bit of Bin then, because he made some interesting comments as well, Bin. So can't
mom.
Oh, I went too far. Sorry, guys. I went too far. I wanted to get this part where he says this very interesting thing.
The lack of sexual intimacy for
July.
quite some time. July?
It's been like 7 months.
If y'all not having sex, what y'all married for?
I'm gonna let you know right when we have sex then.
Yeah,
I'll call you before I call my mom.
What?
Bro, hey,
where you do that at, bro?
Wow, this thing's bro.
What? Ain't no way.
Bro.
They want to see it again, coach.
Let me see if I can get it for you guys again, because what is going on, bro? I don't even know if I can even get that back up the way I had it. Oh man.
Y'all married for?
I'm gonna let you know right when we have sex then. I'll call you before I call my mom.
He was joking. Maybe that's a joke, you know.
But joke or no joke, would you joke about that?
No, I wouldn't be joking about that.
There you go.
Because
that's the point.
There's a little truth in every joke.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to say. Not saying that he's actually going to do it, but there's a truth in everything that he's saying. That's a relationship. I haven't told my mom about any of my madnesses. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I remember my mom questioned me one time when I was very young, the first 18. Are you a virgin? I said to her, Mom, you don't want to know the answer to that question. And that's again, she never asked me again. You know what I mean? Like, we don't be explaining, you know, about sex to my parents like that in that regard. So what the hell am I going to be telling my parents if I had slept with my wife or not? What kind of manner? That's a relationship that the boundaries are off, man. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, I think that, and listen, I've had other friends who talk sex, have sexual conversations with their parents, right? But, or even me, I remember when I was 14, you know, my mom gave me a book on sex and stuff like that, and, you know, made the conversation open to talk about it. But I don't think we're doing specifics. And I'm definitely not in support of, oh, the first time me and my wife have sex, I'm calling up my mother. And then he's saying, oh, I'm going to call you first. I'm going to call you. I'm not calling my friends. Like, we might talk about it, but with my wife, no, we don't need to, like what happens in the marital bed happens in the marital bed, right? So it's like, come on. Like, we don't need to call nobody and say, oh, guess what? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, grow up. Like, come on. Nobody needs a phone call in terms of what you did and who you did what. When you were teenagers, yeah, maybe you call your best friend and be like, yo, bro, it was my boo-boo, you know? But we big and grown and getting married? Nah, bro. You're not ready. You're not ready. You got the wrong idea.
You know, I think also as well, like I said, that we know it well. Caught me 2 times there.
Bless you, brother. You got dust kicking up in there?
Dust was coming up, bro. Dust was coming up.
The spirit of Steve and Mitch is in your nasal cavity.
We even didn't say about Mitch. Mitch is sounding very dusty. Him and Nate. We'll get on to Nate later on. But yeah, no, you know, I know it's a joke that he mentioned about him saying his mom. I put it up there because it's the kind of joke that you make when there's a little bit of truth in there, meaning that your relationship with your mom is way too close. You know what I mean? Already it's too close. That's why you made the joke. You know what I mean? Because none of us would mention that, right? As a joke, we wouldn't say, "Oh, you know, I'll make sure, you know, after you told my mom." Like, no, we would never do that. Do you know what I mean? So that for me made me realize, that, yeah, I think your relationship with your mom is a bit inappropriate. And in the sense of, like, I think the boundaries are blurred. And there's, like he said himself, he said, all the girls that he's dated in the past, he compares them to his mum. Well, they've got no chance and no hope in hell, because your mum's your mum. Okay, she's gonna love you through thick and thin, unconditionally, because you're her child. Like, you're asking for a woman to match that kind of love. It's impossible, babe. Ain't gonna happen. And again, it shows again once more that this boundary between you and your mum, in terms of how your relationship dynamics is working, is slightly off, because you're not able to actualize the fact that when you get a partner, it's different to your mum. You know what I mean? It's different. They can't be compared to your mum, because your mum is completely different. Of course, we all make decisions based on our mother and fathers. Of course we do. We have those kind of instinctively make those decisions. But in terms of, like, no woman can really match up to your mum, because every woman was trying to and it wasn't working, bro. That's not it. That's not it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes back to those same boundaries, right? That we were talking about, parents and their adult children. And if he's looking for a wife to be his mom, or to emulate things that his mom has done, I think, like, if those two things connect in your brain, that's still something that needs to be worked out, right? Now, it's not to say, like, oh, I saw my mom doing this as a child and I would want that. I saw my mom do this for my dad and I would want that kind of thing in our relationship. But, like, thinking my wife, the woman I'm gonna marry, oh, I wonder how she's gonna measure up against my mom. Yeah, no, it's two different relationships, bro. It's two very distinct different relationships. And what happens is, you treat your mom like that, she enjoys that treatment, she expects that treatment, and now it's going to put her in opposition with your wife. Because that's what happens, and that's how things play out. There's a show, and I heard a couple of people reference it in the chat. I think it's called I Love a Mama's Boy. It comes on TLC. Kojo, you got to watch this show. At least one episode. Hilarious. It's cringeworthy TV, but some of this stuff is real. And I think as men, we have to, and again, I'm talking from somebody who had to learn. I'm an only child. Imagine how it was when I got married, right? And it takes work to navigate that relationship from sons to their mothers. A lot of work to do. And if you don't navigate it the right way, it's going to be very difficult for you to have a successful marriage, because your wife and your mom will be at odds and you'll be right at the center of it. And some people thrive in that space. I don't like it. I want peace. I don't want war. And especially not with wife, mother. You want peace in that. You want them to coexist and work together harmoniously. And if your mind frame is already like, oh, my mom does this, and then the minute your wife does something that's not what your mom does, and then you mention it, nah, B, wrong road.
I'm hearing you on that, bro. Sorry, I had to wait for that thing to. Yeah, definitely hear you on that as well. You know what? Again, I feel like we're back here again, almost with little Johnny from seasons ago as well. He was slightly a bit of a mama's boy as well. But maybe not as extreme as this. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I hear you on that. I think again, you said it correctly. That the wife is going to have to try and replace the mother at this rate, because you've put the mother in such a position in your life that the wife can't compete with the mother in that respect. And so now you've got a situation where your woman's unhappy and she's trying to almost like try to do things to please you. But in this case, because it's Morgan, you can only bet it'll be carnage that's going to come out, bro. Like, she's not about to bow down and surrender to dealing with your Marge. So I hope you're ready for that, Bin. Let me play a little bit more of another clip that was important as well, about his frugality, as well. That was an issue for, I guess, maybe some women and stuff.
I'm a super frugal person, and that's because of my mom and my dad. I don't do laundry from 4 to 9. Those are peak.
What's your thoughts?
Look, bro, anybody that knows me will tell you that I love a good deal. I always want to find the best price. But frugal and being cheap and like all of this stuff, it's a lot to manage. Clipping of those coupons, I don't think that's gonna work well with Morgan. She's gonna be frustrated. She's gonna bust those coupons on the floor. Like, I don't. Yeah, no, it's too much. Just trying to pick my words better. It's just too much. That's all. Like, it's too much, and the idea of like the gifts that he's gonna give his wife. Bro, first you need to know her. Don't, and I think that's what some of these people do, sit too long in. And I guess that's I haven't met them, so we're gonna get married. So I'm gonna like create a concept of what I want them to be or what I'm gonna do. If anything, like with a gift, you get to know them first, because socks and stock and whatever, if that's not what she wants, then why are you doing that? That might be something you decide to invest in for your family, but don't give that to your wife as a gift if it's not something she's going to appreciate, So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Yo, obviously, him doing up coupons, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's the fact that he uses it majority of the time. And I think entering a relationship, that may be embarrassing for some people, but also as well, I think for some people, it's like, you make good money, why are you doing this? Of course, save money, but there's a time to also spend as well. And does he have the right balance when it comes to saving money and spending money? That's something that he's gonna have to work on and make sure he's got the right balance. Now, it clearly shows that I think clearly by what the boys were kind of saying, that he hasn't got the balance necessarily right as of late, right? He's almost too frugal to the girl that he's with. And you've got to balance it out by make sure you choose the right woman for you personally. But he's almost too frugal. And I think I can see what they mean. The coupon upon coupon is mad, it's beautiful, but it can be a little bit frustrating for another person if that's what if they put value on that themselves. Now, I think with Ben and Morgan, how is he going to cope with somebody who doesn't represent his mum or energy that his mum brings? How's he going to cope when she says, I don't want to do the coupons, I want to spend money? How does he cope when the direction is going to be shifted and changed by her? She's going to be maybe saying some, because she's quite an assertive person, so she's going to potentially be asserting herself into the situation, and it doesn't look like he's going to be very confrontational. So before you know it, he's following her lead. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, it's up to you guys to decide that. But for me, don't want to but yeah, he's a bit too frugal, almost to a point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it also depends on how he views her. Like, I think because he's another one that has this romanticized view, because wasn't it him? Didn't he say like, oh, when I see her, I just want to be blown away. I want to fall in love. Right. And having that mindset, if she doesn't do it for him, I think he's also going to be resistant. And then if his mama don't like her, it ain't gonna work. He's not gonna listen to anything that she has to say. She could tell him to put the coupons down, and he just might go buy more coupons. So I'm not sure about those two. I think it's all about if they have those sparks right along. I think he's gonna be one of those that he needs to have the spark right away. And if it's not, then he may just shut down anything. He's not gonna may not be willing to listen to what she has to say.
Yeah, and I think also as well, I think I put this in my notes as well, that something I'm learning as well, like it, and I think someone's put in the chat, like being cheap isn't really the issue here as well. I think it's the way it carries across. I think that when you end up being so frugal financially, you also be frugal in terms of your giving to your partner too, and that can be offensive, and it can be also looked at as unattractive. There's a reason why people get attracted to people who spend a lot of money. It's not just because they spend a lot of money; it's because they're generous, and that is an attractive trait, especially within a man. So when he's so frugal, it's not just the fact he's frugal, but depending on the level of the person again as well, that level of frugality can be looked at as really unattractive and uninviting. And so now, not saying that he's not a generous person, but when he said, obviously, I'll get the person socks, rather than saying, okay, I'm not really good at presents, he just said, I'll just get the person socks. That is what I'm saying, that's unattractive. right?
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And I think it's like what a gift should be, whatever that gift is, it should be from your heart, and it should be for the recipient. It shouldn't be, oh, this is what I want to give you. And I think that's what people who are not good gift givers, they struggle with that because they don't think about the person. They and they don't, and I mean, it's not like it has to always be elaborate, but you have to think about what is that person like. You have to think about, have they mentioned anything? So if you're just giving gifts because you're like, look, I don't know, I give up, I'm not a good gift giver, and I'm just going to give you what I think makes the most sense. Yeah, that speaks a little bit about your character, a little bit about you being probably selfish, a little bit about you not being willing and open to the person. I think, oh, that's what he said, stock, by the way, Kojo, not socks. It was stock.
Oh, was it stock? I thought he said socks.
Yeah, I think I did hear. It's two competing opinions.
Socks.
I think we need to, watch it again later or another time. But I think because people keep saying stocks, because I think he did mention something about an investment and something growing.
He definitely did say
as
that.
I replay it back,
yeah.
He might have said stocks, and it just sounded like stocks.
Okay. I don't think I wrote down the point where he said he was going to give some socks. Okay, no, I did 46, 45. Let's see if I can get the clip up. I thought he said socks, but I guess maybe it meant stocks. Okay. 46.
I put it into crypto and stocks and stuff like that.
Damn, bro, but you need to take your next girl out, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we can go hiking.
You gotta splurge sometimes, though, because if your girl wants to, Ben and Jerry's, you might have to. You might
double
have to
scoop.
sacrifice.
She gets single scoop, no cone.
No cone.
That's.
I'll go to it in a second because it's gonna give me a copyright. Okay, so I think people are saying
don't
stocks.
play, bro.
Yeah, they'll be lifetime don't play. Yeah, they'll be slapping on you on quit, boy. Okay, so maybe he's talking about giving her stocks. Okay, if he gives her stocks, that's amazing. That's beautiful. But is that really what the person?
Yeah, it sounded, but it's like instead of, and I don't like Christmas, birthdays. That's not what somebody wants. If you want to do that, you do that on your own. But don't just say, oh, I'm doing this instead of. Nah, bro. Then you're not doing what, what's going to be appealing to the woman that you're with. And that whole scenario, he just seemed very immature to me.
Yeah.
It just seemed very immature, the whole thing he was talking about. It's like, yeah, you can kick back and cackle. You're talking about but like, this is going to be your wife. You want to get married. You're not just talking about like, a little relationship, a little fling. It's the woman you're going to marry. You want to be a little bit more intentional, a little bit more open to what they want.
Yeah, I agree with you as well, bro. I agree with you as well. I just like I said, I just think there's a little bit too much frugalness for me. I think he's got to be watchful over that.
Yep.
I just don't see how you can be so frugal to a point where you're even talking about Ben and Jerry's, one scoop, and it's like it's funny that it's funny when you say it, but in reality, it's not cute, man. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it's not cute. And like they said, you have to splurge a little bit. You can't be so wrapped up, in the way you do things. Because like I said, you said it briefly, a gift is not necessarily about you. It is about the other person. Can't be doing Ben and Jerry's one scoop. You know how sexy Ben and Jerry's is? He didn't even mention Haagen-Dazs. Haagen-Dazs is another level, boy.
Yo, bro, Haagen-Dazs. I had a smoothie from them the other day. And my other favorite is, do you guys have Cold Stone over there?
No, we don't. I don't think we do.
Cold Stone. Cold Stone it's next level, and they take the ice cream and they pretty much, it's laid out on a Cold Stone, and they just mix it back and forth. And then if you like mix-ins in it, man, why we keep talking about food? Last time it was Chick-fil-A and our best fast food. But I just zoned back to Cold Stone sweet cream ice cream with caramel and pecans. Woo!
Someone said Cold Stone apple pie a la mode is
okay.
Amazing. Okay. Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
people know about this.
That's why Coach, you said it. When you come to America, you want the good food. Come on. We're going to take you to all the spots.
we gonna go to the spots, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Someone said Cold Stone is life. Okay.
See?
Someone said I like the cheesecake flavor. Okay. So it's definitely saying something because people are really saying it is. Someone said Cold Stone is Cold Stone good. Okay. Look, you guys dropping bars. Cold Stone obviously doing that. Okay, Cold Stone ice cream. Okay, we'll definitely look into that as well. All right, we've got two more couples. We're going to talk about Stasia or Nate. I hope I pronounced it right. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong as always. These two are going to be so interesting. I think this for me is literally. I am waiting for it to explode. I am waiting for it to explode. I just never. It's rare to hear a child say, "I'm emancipating myself. I'm going to live by myself with my friend because I didn't want to move with my parents at the time."
In high school.
It's the way she said it. It's the way she said it at high school level. That's crazy. My parents would be like, "You're emancipating yourself. You're going. You will be hobo-less because you're not even going to your friend's house. Either you move with us, okay, all right." Oh, you're gonna be on the streets. don't go over to your friend's house saying that we sent you there and that we didn't give you will be on the streets. That's how they play you. I was surprised by that, you know. Okay, let me get a clip up. Sorry, my bad. Let me get a clip up. Of Stacey and Nate. Let me see which one will end up. By the way, she likes thug types. By the way, guys, just want to let you guys know. Okay, she likes thug types. So, I won't be surprised. Okay, let's get a job. Okay. And by the way, as well, anyone know what the word was? Okay, see, what was her deal breaker? I couldn't hear the word for what her deal breaker was. She had a deal breaker. I can get the clip up, but I don't know what her deal breaker word was. Let me get out what you guys. Okay, here we go.
For that. What if he's not? What would you do? That's a deal.
So obviously, she had a deal breaker. I don't know what her.
I think she said a post-nuptial.
What like a
post-nup is what happens after. Well, the prenup is before, the post is after.
Post-nup.
Obviously, because they would need a post-nup for this. This is where we need our resident legal analyst to break it down for us. Seaway,
yeah, that would have been perfect
right now. But yeah, no, the post-nup, I'm gonna weigh in with my little bit of legal layman's terms. But post-nup happens after marriage. So because of the married at first sight process, they are technically married before they meet each other. So she wants to she wants the post-nup in place so that it'll protect her finances because she's got investment properties and she's amassed all this boss B wealth.
Oh.
So that's what she wants. And she's like, if he says no, then it's gonna be a no on decision day.
Oh, okay. Let me just go back so you guys can hear it then, because she was asking that and I didn't hear it.
Well, yeah, I absolutely. I mean, I'm 100% for that. What if he's not? What would you do? That's a deal.
So for her, a deal breaker would be that no prenup, no postnup. She's gonna have no postnup. She's going to literally say that's a deal breaker for her. Then okay, fair enough.
And I think some people were saying that they make them sign a prenup, but it sounds like she wants something very specific to her, and they probably just do like a different blanket prenup on this process. But she's saying if they stay married after decision day, she wants something very formal in place. And somebody like her who's business minded, a postnump, that's what people who have amassed wealth, will do after the fact. She's like, yeah, I get it. They may give us a little prenup action, but I want a postnump that's very specific to me so that my assets are protected.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. She's an interesting one there. What was your overall thoughts with Stasia then?
Look, I think, it seems very great that she's done a lot of these wonderful things in life and amassed all this wealth, but that mentality is pervasive, and she is not going to want to work with that dude. I think and again, I'm not saying women shouldn't have and all of this stuff, but when you operate with that mentality, once you tell me I'm a boss, blah, like already that red flag, because it's like,
What is it about that boss word? What is that about? Because I'm the same as you, bro. As soon as I hear that I'm a boss bitch, I'm like, I'm out. Okay, I don't need to be around that. What's your thoughts on
that energy it's a no for me. If you are, and listen, I've been in spaces, relationships with women that are that technically, but they don't need to wear it as a badge. So that for me it's a turnoff. It's like, why are you leading with that? And that mentality, just the same way as we were talking about Mitch and him being irreverent and rude in essence, but playing it off, that boss B mentality comes with that same energy. It's like, I run the show, you don't tell me what to do, and if you don't measure up, she comes in guns a-blazing. The mother already did the signs of the cross for her. That's all I need to see. That means she's a lot to handle. She said it herself. And yeah, no, it's going to be tough for her to be able to be agreeable and work together in a collaborative way in a relationship. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Definitely hear on that. It's interesting as well. I played a bit of the clip as well where the mum obviously spoke. She did, like I said, she did the little cross when she realized her daughter was getting married. That's why I knew that it was long for her. Her mum was like, "Wait, someone's going to marry you? Not with the energy you produce for me." So I can get this clip up. Okay, I'll play in the background. It'll catch up to a point I needed to. But yeah, the mum was like doing a cross, obviously sign for her daughter. And I think anytime you see that the parent is going to do, is going to say anything like that to their daughter, as in, yo, like, you are a lot, you need to pay attention. We've said this every season, when parents be saying you're a little bit a lot, like we said earlier on, they said it's never failed. It's never failed to see that saying. That's why I said the same thing. We'll get to them as well. Justin and Alexis. What did a friend say? She has problems saying stuff in a proper way. Same with Jasmine last season. What did her friend say? You don't like being held accountable. You don't know how to say certain things, like yada yada yada. Okay, cool. So let's just play a little bit more of the clip and see if we can get a little.
At this person, I know nothing about him. Who are you praying for? Him.
So yeah, if your mom is going to be praying for the other person, that tells you your mom is even backing you normally, and your mom's even doing. She knows what it is. It's long. She knows it's long from there. Right. She knows it's long from there.
Yeah, she did the sign of the cross, bro. That's it. I'm done. We're done. We know she's not. She's not to be told what to do, and it started from teenage years.
Yep.
From teenage years, her mother wanted to move out, probably to a better area, different area, and she was like, "No, I'm not going. I'll stay with a friend, and I'm going to emancipate myself."
You know how wild that is.
Wild.
If you want to know definition of independent, when you go on the dictionary, you'll see her name there, because that is exactly what she did. Like, yo, to be doing that at a young age, you think like when she, especially when she came in with the whole, I gets the job done. You know, when I come into a relationship, I get when I come into a thing, I gets the jobs done. Da, 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 da. I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, babe, yeah, I'm gonna need you to chill on that, you know. I'm gonna need you to chill on that. Yeah, I know that you didn't have much when you were younger, you have to go and get it, but baby, I get arrogance as well. It's the way she said, obviously, I get things done. I was like, yeah, it doesn't sound like there's really much humility here. Again, and you know what? Emancipating yourself, you know, she's not Nicole McCulkin, okay? She is not a rich billionaire son or daughter. She is, you know, someone who's of normal stature. And then emancipating yourself from your parents is really a bigger sign of independence. You know what I'm saying? Say, I'm not going. That can only lead into relationships when you're going to go into it as well. Be like, you know what? You think you can tell me what to do? When even my mom and dad, even my mom, I emancipated myself from my mom. You think you can tell me what to do? You're bluffing. There is going to be warfare in this relationship with her and Nate because Nate seems quiet, but just the way he was behaving, even with the stripper thing, I said, yeah, he's a dark side of him. He will tell you about yourself before you know it. And maybe he won't do it on camera, but he's going to do it some way, some material form. You're going to feel it and you're going to know. You play with that boy, you're going to get hurt. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I saw some things there as well. What's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, no, I think those two, I don't know. I think he might be a little put off by her energy. You know, perhaps they'll be attracted to each other, maybe. You know, I don't know. That's you know, depending on what his type is or whatever. But I remember, was it his friend? He had the woman of no color friend, and she was like, "Well, I hope she's okay with you having female friends."
Yes, that was Nate. That was Nate's friends. Yeah.
Yep. So you already red flag right there. Jenny was staking her claim, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know how Stacia is gonna work with all that energy. So I think that's gonna be a thing. I think his employment's gonna be a thing.
Yep. It sounds like there's gonna be some dust in the air.
Yeah, it seems dusty, you know. I can't cap for my brothers when there's stuff bro, I gotta be equal opportunity. And Nate is coming up dusty. Them two plaques in the back of his head, just cause on the side of his head is giving dust. So I'm sorry, bro.
No.
You gotta get an Elijah Wan makeover or something because right now he's looking like he has the potential to be dusty. But you know, I don't know. I don't think she's going to be digging him. I don't think she's going to be digging him. And I think they might be combustible, or they might have that energy where there's some attraction, but they're going to be fussing and tussling, and then tussling and fussing in the bed too.
Can we also note as well, she's older than him by 4 years already.
Yes.
She's already, so if she already makes money and kills it, I'm a boss already energy, and then 4 years older too, this could be a problem. That could be a very big problem. That too there, this it almost feels like it could be open for disrespect. You know what I mean? I'm scared for the brother. I'm not saying that he can't handle his own. I'm just saying that I'm scared for the terms of this relationship being healthy. You know, there's so many things that can go wrong with these two. That you know, I'm concerned. You know, if this happened. Plus, obviously, as well, I think he said something interesting. He said to when he was seeing his friends, he said, "If my friends didn't agree, my anxiety level would go through the roof." And I said, "Oh, does he have a weak mentality?" I shouldn't say it like that way. That sounds really bad because that's someone's mental health. But in terms of the fact that, like, obviously, if your mental health is fragile, is this going to be the right place for you? Number one. Number two, if your anxiety is going to go through the roof, if they mentioned it on purpose, so they're obviously trying to give us information to make judgments. Is that going to be an issue later on when she decides that she's now putting on boss chick energy? Will now your mental health be affected by the fact that she ain't trying to do what you want her to do? When she said she's going to do whatever she wants to do, will that affect him? You know, I don't know, man. But yeah, selling advertising to businesses, the way he pitched it, I said, yeah, that sounds a bit suspect. Can't lie to you. You know, can't lie to you.
That sounds like I'm walking door to door. With some leads that I got from somewhere for $9.99, and I'm trying to sell you something. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
No.
But listen, I'm gonna say something controversial.
Oh Lord.
Look, now you see you see how, and I'm good with it because I'm definitely not feeling, I'm not feeling secure about good old brother Nate here. But you see how we don't get the benefit of the doubt like Steve got the benefit of the doubt in last season. That's all I'm saying. Nobody was tussling with me. Nobody was saying, well, you don't know what a day trader is, Sean. Day traders, they really can do well. You really can take advantage of the spread in the market. It's a bull market. It's a bear. No. Not near one of y'all. Not near one. That's all I'm going to say.
Definitely none of them will say nothing, kids. Oh, okay, no. Yeah, none of them. Yeah. But he grew up. Well, he seems to have been. He hasn't got wherever he is. He hasn't got any family at all. Seems to make friends with some of the ladies as well very early. The white girl with the blonde hair, kind of pretty. It's not my kind of thing. I like dark skinned babes, but I can appreciate her prettiness as well. She's only been that friend since for a year. Yeah. I'm like, okay, maybe this guy's really good at making friends with the opposite sex, or he a freaky deaky behavior moving behind the scenes. Okay. I'm inclined to think the second one. Just saying, just saying, But yeah, let me just play this little clip as well of Nate as well. What the part I want to focus on. Yeah, he said something interesting. He said it's hard to get over his past girlfriends, and he didn't actually mention what was in the past. So it was like kind of left up in the air. Let's just see if I can get this clip perfectly there, Let's
partner. I believe in consulting with professionals, and if there's really good.
I went too far. There you go. I'm gonna get into one.
I'm a good guy overall.
I'm gonna let us play behind the scenes, and I'll play up. But he said actually in that clip, he said in the clip, he said like, my past girlfriend kind of played me a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, he said, he said this. Hard to get, women have said it's hard to get over his past. And I said, what is your past? Because we don't know what your past is. So what is it that the ladies are struggling to get past? You know what I mean? I was like, hey, let me play this clip and see if I can get it now. Why is it freezing? Y'all doing me dirty right now, kids. Okay, so he doesn't want to work for me. Okay, let me remove that and bring it back on. All right, but yeah, but what's your thoughts to Nate though in terms of aside the fact that he might be a scammer, are the female friendships too close? Do you think, Sean? Do you think the female friendships are too close? Do you think there's something in that as well?
I don't know enough to say too close, but what is problematic is, for me, the mindset. It's like if you are putting your friendships at a premium over your marriage and already straight out the gate saying, if this, that for me is problematic. And if the friend is already saying, well, I hope she doesn't, what would she have to be concerned about? And what are you willing to make sure that there is nothing for her to be concerned about, right? And I think that's the part where when it comes to opposite sex friendships, right? Both people have to manage that the right way in order for people to know there's no threat here, because that's where our mind kind of automatically goes, especially if both people are attractive, right? If one's not attractive, you may or may not be bothered with it too much as long as the behavior is not overtly like problematic. But if both people are attractive, it already kind of, you're like, well, why didn't you two, right? So the person needs to do that level of work. I know we talked about this in the past, right? It's like for me, for the friends that I have that are women and that are married, I get to know their husbands. So their husbands feel comfortable, and it's not to say we have the same friendship, but they know Sean doesn't pose a threat because I'm not moving funny when it comes to them, right? So I think the female friend needs to do some work to be like, hey, listen, I just want her to know she's a sister too, and it's me and you are just friends, point blank, period.
I'm hearing that, bro.
And if you already saying like, well, if she don't like me, then you're already going in with the wrong energy, and it's already going to be a setup.
Gonna go left. Okay, yeah. Definitely hear that, Cap. Definitely hear that. Let's see if we can play the clip now, finally. Hopefully this will work.
To get over my past. I'm tired of trying to find my partner.
I believe.
So he actually said, women struggle to get over his past. And I'm like, what is the past? What? Because you were homeless and what? You were homeless and you didn't have a home reception in your car. Now I don't know any woman that would be concerned about your past if in the present you're doing well. If you're killing it now, why would she be concerned about your past? Your past will be even beautiful. You know what I mean? That's part of the struggle. They'll be even celebrating you. So that doesn't seem like that doesn't seem right to me to say about the past. I think that's about something else. I think that he was a hoe. Yeah, I think he was a hoe in the past. And that's what they can't forgive.
Or a homosexual, as they call them now.
Sleeping on different couches all the time. Do you know what I mean? Couch surfing.
In air mattress mandingo.
Oh my days. Oh, freaking out. Oh, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. You're moving mad, kids. I love it, fam. I love it. Last clip I want to play for Stasia and Thingy is actually around what she actually said, because she said she wants to change her type now. And I was like, wait, what is your type? And the type was thugs. I'm like, babe, what the frick is going on? Why is your thing thuggish? Why did you want that kind of guy? Okay, let's get to it. I'll have to cut it off.
I think like the problem with me is like I've been trying to get that fairy tale with that thug, right? That's been my problem. I like the little thug. I like the tattoos. I like that little.
So she likes the thug. She likes the thug with the tattoos and everything like that. She likes them thugs. Is she gonna be able to turn it around in time that she's gonna like someone like Nate?
Daddy issues. That's daddy. That's all that is daddy issues.
Is that what you're hearing?
Yep, daddy issues, and also, just misunderstanding what she's really looking for in a man, right? And I think women equate thug with, protection, the edge, the good time, the fun, right? But is that what's going to get you what you want? Same thing like us for guys. We may be going after just that one baddie or the girl that looks just like Doug, but that woman has so many options. And that archetype that she's after, and especially if you're just going for the surface, it ain't getting her the option. So hopefully she realizes that that part of her is gone, rather.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah, listen, let's move on. Our last set, let's take our last set. That's who that's gonna be. That's gonna be our major hitters, Justina, Alexis. Major talking points on this. So many, that wanted to. There's so many talking points with Justine, and I've got like 3 or 4 videos loading. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, so just be honest with you. These two major issues, major. Let me expound something, bro. Let me expound something. Let me see this. I think let me get a clip up for you guys as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, cool. So, let me just quickly this while Sean is just quickly grabbing something. I think with I think with Justine and Alexis, there's just so much going on. And honestly, if I'm honest with you, there's too much to just digest. So there'll be 3 or 4 videos this week. I'm sure there will be because there's too much to go on. But I think one of the things I wanted to even focus on, maybe I can get the audience's thought as well. Is okay. So maybe I'm being tetchy, right? There's a part that I didn't like. When it got to a certain point, it's the part where she said he's not ugly. You know what I mean? I said he's not ugly. What you mean? He's not ugly. I said, go, what you mean? What you mean he ain't ugly? I said, oh baby, don't do that to us. I said he's not ugly, like he's not ugly, but she's not actually attracted. I said, babe, oh no, he's actually awful. He's not awful, but not her type. That's what she said. I said, oh damn, they got her good. They got her good. So let me get that clip up and see if I can play that. 202-40. Let's see if I can get that clip up. Will they allow me to? It's gonna have to play this way.
Yeah, physically, I mean, he's not awful, but he's not my type by looking at him. But as far as his just banter, and he makes me feel comfortable.
Nah, I'm sorry. Listen, if a man said, and we know this because we know how Chris reacted, how you lot reacted to Chris when he said it. If a man said, you know what? She's not awful. You know what? But I'm willing to make it work. There's no way would be comfortable. Right? There's no way. See how look, see how people are saying he's not attractive. You would have a fit if a man came on the screen and said, you know what? She's not that awful. What? We would be having a fit. There will be absolute bedlam in the chat.
We would
in fact,
be
there'll be so many capes.
Ism.
So many capes.
Yep, we would be every kind of ism. Colorist, featurist.
That is wild. Like, it's so wild. It's so wild. She said that's not awful. That's a compliment. You know, I'm with a man. It's so wild to say that. Again, it just shows your tact. It just shows her tact, again, about how to deliver how you feel. All she had to say was, you know what, like, I don't necessarily find him attractive yet, but you know what, I love his personality. That's all that needs to be said to drop the bar of, you know what, he's not awful. It's ridiculous. And again, it just shows again insensitivity to how she delivers information. She's not aware that the words she uses. I don't think necessarily she was trying to hurt him or anything like that, or trying to be vindictive. I don't get that. I don't get that feeling either. But I think to myself again, the comment about saying obviously he's not awful. It just doesn't need to be said. You know what I'm saying? And the producer I don't think the producer got her to say that, because I think the question was, do you find him attractive? And that's a simple question. That doesn't force you to say he isn't awful. That's you. You know what I mean? Like, yo, man.
They Gojo. They said he has hips.
See, I ain't gonna lie to you that he has still.
Yo, bro, We try to be, we try. Maths, they be trying it, bro. Maths tried it with this one. Maths tried it with this one, bro. I ain't gonna say nothing out of pocket, but Maths, they tried it with this one. Come on. I'm gonna leave that brother alone. He's a nice guy. Brother was bawling in tears. I'm like, uh-oh. You got a gentle giant. He does look akin to Leslie Jones, like that could be his sister. You know the comedian Leslie Jones?
No, I don't,
They could be in the same family tree. I'll show you in the chat
funny,
later.
Man. That's kind of funny.
Like he could be related to Leslie Jones.
Oh man. Oh man. You lot are funny though. Yeah, sorry. Oh boy. Oh man. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So I just think to myself, she's not very good at tact, and her friends even said that. She's not very good at tact, and I just think to myself, that can also as well be so dangerous in a relationship. Not necessarily that it's going to be abusive, but more of a case of you're gonna hurt someone's feelings, and already, okay, we really know he's sensitive. So okay, predating that comment, I personally, this made me just be a bit more sensitive than anything. I didn't like the way she checked him about the high five thing. I think it was very cheeky that the first time I've met you, that's what you're dropping bars on me on. I felt that was a bit cheeky. And again, I would say again, envisage this. If it was a man saying that to a woman, the first thing you'd be saying is, yeah, he gonna be leading that control. He gonna be up in that abuse situation. Because that's the first thing if someone says that so early, all right, in the situation, and says, you know what, I don't like the fact you high five like that. Yeah, it's corny. Like, yo, we'd be like, wait, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, why is she choosing this particular moment to say that particular comment? This was not the time, nor the place, nor the season to say this. Now, you can be blunt, but your bluntness is, like I said, you have to be very, very careful. You have to be very, very careful with those kind of things, man. Do you know what I mean?
But did you peep his response when she said that, though?
Yeah, he said, I'll change it. I would have told her to get lost.
I'll work on that. I'm like,
yeah,
bro.
I would have told her, listen, I said, that's the way I roll. You better relax. I put high fives.
Yo, Maria put a comment in there too. Did you remember when he was talking about all the girls want to know what his junk looks like? And he doesn't want to, he said he don't want to be a piece of meat. I'm like, bro. Come on.
I mean,
come on, bro.
That's how he's too sensitive. Yeah, he's way too sensitive. I mean,
yeah, do better. Don't put yourself out there like that, bro. I'm like, bro, you're not fit for that. That's more like Elijah Wan territory. Like, don't, bro. Come on. We're trying to be nice to you, bro. We try to be nice, bro. Come on.
Oh man,
he don't want to be a piece of meat, bro.
Oh man, do you know what the worst thing is? Yeah, let me see if I can even find it, guys. For you guys, it is too funny. I noted it down. Yeah, you can talk, Sean. Anyway, and I'll grab it.
Yeah, and then it was just like he was talking about his height and being pushed in basketball and all of this stuff. But then they cut to the volleyball game. Nate
he's getting smashed.
They were killing him. It's like all you need to do is stand at the net and just bong. Like, bro.
Oh, bro. Let me show you something, bro. This is too funny. When I saw this, I laughed. It's only when I watched it the second time round. But what, guys, I mean, I need you to deep what happened here. Lifetime is absolutely shambolic for this. They are shocking for this, and they are terrible for this. I laughed, but it's absolutely shambolic for this. Just listen to this. This is hilarious. And watch what happens.
For me is women was just curious about, if I was packing or not, or, what's it like being with a 6'8" guy. I was happy.
Not him cutting up the cucumber, bro. That's how you know Lifetime ain't about nothing. Lifetime ain't. If you didn't know, then we know now. Lifetime ain't. Lifetime is with the ish. Because ain't no way, bro. He took about his package and they got a cucumber sitting right there. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way, boy. Oh man. Yo, I only picked up on that when I watched it a second time. I didn't pick up on the first time. It's the second time I watched it. I said, "What is going on? Why did they do that to him? Why would they do that to him? Like, yo,
production is the devil. Is Beelzebub? Production is Beelzebub. That's it. I'm done.
Hold on. And he's even chopping up. Nah, they are terrible for that. They knew exactly what they were doing. Let me just bring it one more time for you guys.
For me, is women were just curious about, if I was packing or not, or what's it like being with a 6'8" guy.
They are terrible. They are so bad for that. There's no need for that. There's no need for that. To choose that immediate moment. I want to know who edited that scene. That's what I want to know. They thought to themselves, got him. Yo. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. But there's a lot to go. There's a lot with Justin and Justin and Alexis. The brother really wasn't feeling the relationship, also feeling him going into this married at first sight situation. And then said obviously that he had to move states. He moved out of state when his last girlfriend broke up with him. Yeah. And then when he met his brother and brother's brother-in-law, why do they sit there looking like his parents? Because that's how it felt like. It felt like he was talking to his parents. Of course, his dad raised him, but it just felt like he was talking to his parents. I don't know. It's just, it's given, I don't stand on my own 2 feet very well. That's what it's given. It's given my legs are like Bambi and they'll give out. You know what I mean? That's what it's given right now. I don't know about you, Sean. What do you think?
His legs are like Bambi. Yeah, Justin. Oh man. Listen, he seems like, but I want to say some positives, right? So he did mention that he had gone to therapy, but I need him to go back. He did say he went to therapy. He did some work. The previous, the engagement that didn't work out when he was very young, but back to the brother relationship. I just think that's like the adult parent.
Yes, yeah,
dynamic.
that's the same thing.
And the brother was like, I know you. I know you. I know how this is going to work out. I know the setup. So I'm not going to support this. I don't think so. But the part, and I could understand and support his brother for saying his opinion, because obviously the brother still came through, supported him, and all of that. So,
I know exactly what you're
you
gonna
can
say.
tell your opinion to an adult. I don't think there's anything wrong with you disagreeing with what. If you're my parent and you're disagreeing with a decision I'm making and you're sharing with me the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why, but the rest is left for me to do, right, with what I want to do. Now, the problem I have with Justin is that emotional cry.
Yeah.
It was like he was like a kid that got his PlayStation put away. It was like, no, I wanted you to want this for me. I'm like, bro, come on. Come on. You're killing me here. I'm trying, bro. He's killing me. Justin's killing me. And I just want to, I'm trying, coach. Please. But this dude, he has to firm up. Like, he got to firm up. Like, he's too passive. He's too laid back. He's too, he's killing me.
Do you know what part that finished me, yeah? It's when his brother called me a little bitch. I said,
I missed that. I missed that. Like,
I need to show you that. Hey, his brother called me a little bit. The argument they had, he called me a little bitch. I said, "Oh
What?
man."
I must have blacked out. I missed it.
Bro,
Oh man, no,
and
coach.
you know what? At first, I was annoyed at the brother because I was like, "Why would you be saying that?" Right? But then I realized why he's saying that because he's that's how he sees him. That's the reason why he used that cuss. He used that cuss because that's how he sees him. He sees him as someone who's weaker in that sense because the masculine energy, the protective piece where you stand up for yourself and you're strong and you're able to stand on your own 2 feet. I think that part he doesn't necessarily see in his brother too well. And I think that also makes him feel like to say those words to him. Because I mean, you know, to say those words as just because he disagreed with you, and then because he's saying that he can stand on his own 2 feet, you call him a little bitch. I said that's when I knew that, yeah, do you know what? Frick it. He knows I think the reason that was his truth in that moment to say those words. I'm gonna try and find the clip for you guys. Fine. Okay, you tell me about okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, got it for you guys. There's never fear. I've got my notes, you know, my numbers or the notes as well. Always, you know what I mean? Always got to make sure that. Let me not put the picture up there. Lifetime will definitely be counting those seconds, even when you haven't played it. So they're a bit tight. Okay, 1, 3, 3, 40. Beautiful stuff. Okay. Here we go.
Case, bye. Justin, you acting like a little bitch. I really don't feel like this was a good idea.
Oh man. Hey, you know, so you know, I think, oh man, freaking hell. Oh jeez. You know what? Oh man. It's terrible, but you know, I think with and do you know, it's funny. It's funny because when I look at Justin, everything about him doesn't give me confidence. His whole body frame is shaped like a tree that is not very sturdy. You know, like you see them trees, and it's just not looking sturdy. Like it grew, but it's tall, but it's thin. It's just it's thin, and that's the kind of energy I get from him in the same sense. Like the way he holds his frame, even you know, probably the reason why he probably maybe basketball wasn't his thing because the aggression. I don't get that aggression from him. You know what I mean? I don't get. I'm looking at you. You're 6'8". I'm expecting some dominance, some presence, and you can still be a friendly giant, but it's just too nice almost with him. And I think I think for him, you know, we need to know a bit more deeper background reason in terms of why was it your brother was raising you from 14 to 19? Why was it your brother that was raising you and became like a father figure? What was happening before then? Where's your father now? You know, I don't know if he's passed away or you don't with him anymore. You know, so you know, it's I'm trying to figure out where it went wrong, right? I'm not going to say where it went wrong, but where there was deviation, you know what I mean? And why the brother had to get involved and try to help out in sense like that. Do you know what I mean? So, because by the time he gets to 14, he's already pretty much solidified a lot of his behaviors. A lot of these thoughts, behaviors, they're really pretty much solidified from 14. So there's not much he can change in his younger brother by that time. You know what I mean? He's going to go through a lot of experiences through the way he thinks. Oh, has my computer gone off? My computer's moving mad. Sorry, guys. I'll put my other camera on in a second. But yeah, so I just think to myself, you know, for the situation with him, I really want to ask, you know, where this is coming from. Why does he act this particular way? Where's that from? Is it his mom? Is it his dad? Like, my camera's gonna be a little bit dark, guys. I do apologize. I don't know where it's coming from. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's my main thing, because we didn't really get that much information in terms of parental. You know what I mean? We didn't get that much. Even the brother-in-law's. I'm sorry. Even the brother's wife was like, I don't think you're ready. You know, like something's not adding up, bro. And the crying. You know, it's not the same as Zach's crying. I didn't get the same effect, but there was a lot of that crying. I was like, yeah, we need to sort that out, bro. There's a lot of that crying.
He was on the after party crying with Keisha too.
Say what?
I don't even remember what he was crying about, but Keisha was like, he was flanked by the two ladies. He had, I think, Kristen. I think it was Kristen on one hand, and I don't know. I think it was Stacia on the other. And they started asking him questions. I think she talked to him about celibacy. She talked to him about the brother. Oh, she was asking him about his brother and the decision. And next thing you know, this fool just started. Justin just started welling up. And I'm like, why are you crying, bro? And she was like, oh, you crying? She was like, she was like, oh, Lord, get some tissue. I'm like, oh, come on, bro. Come on. That brother has a stronghold on him. He needs to release himself from the hold of his brother. Because, the brother's giving him some solid advice. But like, you got to figure yourself out. You got to figure out what works for you. Your brother's approval, the world will continue to move if your brother doesn't, approve of what you do. And again, nobody's saying it in the comments, but I also don't want to make it like, and we always do this disclaimer, like it's nothing wrong with a man crying. Right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all. And that's not the message I'm saying. It's like, but time and place and why? Like, why? It's like, if he don't, if my brother, I don't have one, but if they hypothetically did tell me they don't like what I'm doing or they disagree with my decision, I would listen. I'll be like, okay, tell me more. All right. Okay, cool. I'll absorb it. If I want to listen, I might. And if I want to do what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. Why am I going to cry because you don't like what I'm doing, because you don't approve of my choices? That's where I just think like that means you're not secure. It's the lack of security in who you are, and that reads. People can see that. So a woman like Alexis is going to be like, bro, she already told him she don't like him high-fiving. She's going to be like, yo, like the cries, I'm going to need you to get it together because there's no more Kleenex in the house, bro. You're doing too much. She's from Jersey too. She's from Jersey. He's from Alabama. Jersey's like right above New York. So very northeast. Yeah, it ain't going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and it's like, the crime for me just signified weakness, man. That's what it signified to me. It signified that weakness, man. Do you know what I mean? And because as well, and I think the main thing is he hasn't been seen. He wants to be seen. He wants to be heard. He wants to be, loved and cared for. And I think that's why I said that it's going to be triggering also for our sister Alexis, because the way she wept in her mother's arms too, that was a red flag for me too. Okay, people cry about their wedding day. They're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this," and you know what? I'm not sure if this is the right thing to do. But the way she wept, bro, they were in the same league. Yeah, tears gonna run and flow like Justin Timberlake's song. Okay, Cry Me a River, because that's what they both were doing. You know what I mean? And the weeping for both of them seemed really intense. Weeping. That's why I said we're probably going to have fireworks between these two, because underneath the surface they're very highly emotional. She might not show it so much. She might do a better job of covering up with her a bit more sternness and a bit more, I've been around men and everything, but I can sense she's gonna come with sensitivity and heat, and her sensitivity comes with gunshots. His sensitivity comes with, I put up a little bit of a shield and I tried to shield and dodge your madness. So I said both of these people, no, the tears that she weeping and the way tears he weeping, I'm a bit I'm not convinced. I'm not sure where this is going with these two. Do you know what I mean? In terms of when it comes to sensitivity as well. So for me, yeah, he moved a whole different state. He was heartbroken last time he broke up with a girl. I just think to myself, yeah, it could be a lot, man. This could be very dangerous. Boy.
And I think the other part with her too is like she had those 3 engagements that she broke them off. So she was almost.
Why did she even mention that?
Yeah, look.
Because they're college. Did it? What do you think? Why do you think she mentioned it?
Was it all college? She was getting proposed to like that in college?
That's what she said. She said high school friend, college. Did it? I can get a clip up. While you're talking, bro, you go and I'll get a clip up. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go for it, bro.
Yeah, I'm just not sure at like what was she just mentioning where they met and then it happened later in life? But I don't understand, but that to me is a red flag. And then like the way she was whimpering in her mother's arms to me was a reflection of the fact that she's still holding on and she's not ready to let go. Like she said, the reason I chose to let Married at First Sight do it for me is because I knew I couldn't back out. Huh?
Yeah, she's a flight risk, bro. She's a runner. She's a track star.
Yeah, Married at First Sight's not the answer, ma'am. Have you seen the show? Like, I just need these people to watch one good season, just one, from start to finish, and then maybe a little bit of like, where are they now? And then like, are you going to Married at First Sight to solve your relationship woes? Come on. Yeah. So
proposals were high school and 2 college friends. Okay. Yeah. 3 proposals and I rejected each one of them. She said, I was confused by that, and I think I said to myself, we need more. We're gonna need a bit more information as to, because she said obviously she had a very warped mindset about marriage, and I'm like, but how would that make you not get married? Like that's not an excuse that you use as to why you don't get married. If I had a warped mindset, that's something you say after, and you say, listen, to be honest, I'm glad I didn't get married because at the time I had a crazy idea of marriage. But that wouldn't stop you at the time as to why you didn't get married. A good answer would have been, okay, do you know what? At the time, I didn't get married because you know what? Yeah, I wasn't feeling marriage, or I was scared to get married, or that's an answer to why you didn't get married. Saying what she said did not answer why she didn't get married. But let me see if I can get the clip up for you guys. I got the clip for you guys and see if we can do it.
Marriage took, and at that time I was the first one was like my high school boyfriend. Yeah. Second one was my college friend. Yeah. And the third one was my college romance or whatever.
Alexis is very.
I don't know what the third one was. College what? The third one was college what?
She didn't say. She was like college whatever, college something.
Yeah, I don't know why she mentioned all 3 proposals, to be honest.
So she said high school sweetheart or something, right? So yeah. When did this proposal take place? They were in high school? Like, what?
That's what I said, doesn't even count.
Yeah, it's like, what? College? Okay, maybe. Did they come with rings or just this was a conversation? I don't know. Either way, whether it happened or not, you're talking about it, and that to me, if it's something worth you talking about and wearing like a badge of honor, then it's a red flag nonetheless. But it's just it just makes it more weirder that these, because I didn't even piece it together, that these relationships were far in the past.
Yeah, I definitely think to myself as well. I don't know why she mentioned all 3. Again, and then again, because she mentioned all 3, she actually said the reason. I think she said the reason was earlier on in the episode where she said she got cold feet with the marriage. She was afraid of failing. So she's a runner. She's a track star. Yep. And what's the evidence today to show us that you're not going to run and be a track star again tomorrow? What is the evidence that during this marriage you won't be a runner and track star today? You know what I mean? We're not sure. You can still do this again once more. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's 3 proposals. It's just like, oh, I don't know. And you have to deep it as well. If you're saying 3 proposals, you're saying what? 3 people proposed. Okay, let's say 3 proposals. It's not in engagements. It's in proposals, basically. So that's not engagements. That's people trying to propose to you. Hey, I don't be mentioning every single one that someone might propose to me. I mean, no one has, and I haven't proposed to anyone as of yet. But if I propose to you, I won't be mentioning all the proposals I've had. You know what I mean? I find it a bit weird that she mentioned it. That's all. Yeah, I find it a bit weird. You know, I know something's not quite right. Something's quite off. You know, so something we have to look deeper into that. I think. You know. I didn't have a contribution, Sean, to Justine. Justin and I said Justine, freaking hell. Justin and
did they talk? Did she talk anything about her relationship history outside of these 3 engagements?
No.
So I want to hear a little bit more about that from her. I want to hear about her history. And then, on another funny note, did you see when they walked down the? First of all, those two are hilarious. They almost had pretty much the same vows.
They did, yeah. Wow.
Then when she was doing that braiding ceremony, he was like, "Oh, you know how to do that braid?" I'm like, "What, bro? Like what?" Like,
when he did that. Oh, when she did that.
When she was braiding, I guess I've never heard of that. I was interested in that. I've never seen anything like that before. The jumping of the broom, I've seen tons of times. I'm familiar with that. But the braiding thing was new to me. So I was like, oh, what's this? But then his commentary, I was like, come on, bro. Here we go again. And then there was this random white lady that was in tears, like jumping out the aisle.
An orange. Yeah.
I'm like, what is
breaking down? I was like, baby, you okay? She's breaking down. The lady in orange. I noticed her too, and then at the very end as well, you just see her just going,
yes.
I'm like, baby, you need to relax. It's like,
there's too many people that want to have moments on television. I'm like, what are you doing? Ma'am, sit down.
We're breaking down. Oh my god!
Yes,
like, babe, cry your cry, but baby was weeping. Like,
yes, it's like she's about to pass out. It's like,
but you better relax. You better relax. She was doing way too much, man. My gosh, bro! I thought I was the only one that saw it. I thought, blood, it was wild.
Can you find the scene?
I'll try and find the scene for you guys because it was a lot. That was breaking up, bro. Like she was cutting up, like
she was, bro. I was like, they need to get her some water. Is it a hot day? Like, what's going on?
She was cutting up, bro. I'll try and see if I can see it in the background. But it was a lot, man. When you saw it, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, babe, you just gonna cut up like that? I said, there's too much, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, their vows were very similar, which is quite interesting. I think he's definitely into her, definitely finds her attractive. Oh yeah, I think I found it. It doesn't look as bad the second time when you watch it round though. But the first time when I watched it, it didn't look that bad. But the second time I watched it, I've just seen it now. It's not as bad. But she was cutting up. Let's just have a look. 2030. Let's see if we can get it out for you guys. It wasn't as bad.
I felt the passion here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce
this lady right here. Because she'd been crying at the run it, so she's just
for the first time as husband and wife.
I don't know if it
Alexis and Justin.
Do you know what it is? If you watch the whole thing, you'll see it cuts to her several times. That's why it probably looks even worse. Because when you take it in one time, it's like, oh, that's it. But it cuts to her several times, and she's just there like every time. And it's just like a waterwork display, and it's just like, wow, that's mad. So yeah, she was definitely on one. But yeah, no, with these two, I think someone said whose friend is she? Nobody knows whose friend she is, but she looks like she's on the side of Tree. So maybe that's what runs in the friendship group. Yeah. Someone said about the friend of Alexis, the guy that was at the dress as well. People are saying that there may be a little bit more, that he may be feeling her a little bit, or she may be feeling him a little bit. What's your sentiments and thoughts to that? Anything on that?
I mean, I don't think so. I think they look at her like a sister, only because I'm not putting anything past anybody. Could it happen? Sure. But I'm just looking at the outside part. It's like, typically, if y'all playing football with a woman, I don't think that they're seeing her that way. They don't look like, oh, I want you. I'm not getting those vibes from them. But I could be wrong. I couldn't imagine going to a female friend of mine's dress fitting that was getting married. I wouldn't do it, but I don't know. I mean, it works for them, but yeah, I wouldn't be there.
I hear you on that. I mean, obviously, again, we got to ask you a question: why all the friends being male?
It's because she carries that little bit of tomboyish, masculine energy.
Absolutely, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you, and that is what's going to play out in that relationship. Because when you start feeling vulnerable, you go to your go-to moves. That's going to be her go-to move. She says she got a lot of love to give, and I believe her. But when you start feeling vulnerable and the chances you can get hurt, your go-to moves come out, man. What you're trained to do comes out, man. So that masculine energy gonna come out real strong, real strong. I hated her wedding dress. I don't know why, but I didn't like it.
Who's the Alexis?
Yeah, I didn't like it. And I say that because she was going through a few of them and she wasn't liking them either. And I was like, babe, just go. Like, there was one that she was going to pick, and I said, babe, if you choose that, freaking heck. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, they ain't checking for her. Yeah, actually, right. They're probably not checking for her. She's probably not dainty enough for them. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, these two, I think there will be fireworks definitely coming. Fireworks will definitely be operating from these two. I think there's a lot to like about them as well, but also a lot to watch out for as well in terms of them being in this marriage. Like I said, we still. I just have a feeling that she's gonna say something that will trigger him. That's my thing. I think she's gonna say something that will trigger him. That's my biggest thing. You know what I mean? She said they said that also on the show that she's used to playing a strong female role. Well, hopefully she can find her feminine energy so she can relax and rest. If she doesn't, she may be in the situation for a very long time. Yeah. Any final words on that, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that his willingness to please, he just definitely seems like a people pleaser. It's not, he's gonna have to find his voice and find the way that he's gonna have to navigate the situation. It can't be all about, I'm gonna do whatever you want me to do, because that's just gonna get you steamrolled over, right? Even we joked about the whole high five comment. He could have said, okay, that's what's up. Oh, okay, I get it. But like, oh, I'm going to work on that. It's like, we just meeting each other for the first 5 minutes. You're already telling me what you don't like and I'm corny. It's like, keep it on the inside.
That's right.
So, yeah. I think like I think it's always, this is one thing I took note of, and I'll finish with them there, is it's always very dangerous in a relationship when one person is more overtly in love with the other.
Yeah.
And when it's overt, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it's hard to say, okay, we love each other the same. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But like, he's overly smitten with her. The minute he saw her, he was like, oh, she's so beautiful. She's everything. I love her brown skin, her this, her that, her da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And she was like, oh, he's not awful. Like, that's like completely imbalanced. So I think that's the part that's dangerous. Like, because you get with the wrong person, they're going to see that. They can either manipulate it, or it's going to be a turnoff for them that you're so into them and they know how they feel about you. So that's what I think about those two.
Okay. I love that. Yeah, you guys already know my thoughts on someone said on the after party, you fell in love at first sight. You mean her booty and her breasts and her good looks didn't confuse you, but you fell in love. Okay, no worries. But yeah, Sean, give us a benediction round up for today, and we'll round up, man. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. So as I think about this, this looks like it's going to be a good season. I think let's watch and let's wait. I think some of the couples, we know what's going to happen because we know the math's recipe, but some of the couples, maybe not. I would say boundaries are a big lesson that we took away from. So that's a big thing for us to really look at the boundaries we have in our life. Like, what boundaries do you have in relationships? What are you willing to accept? How do you deal with conflict? The other good topic that came up for us and something to think about is, how do you relate with your parents or people that are parental figures in your life? Do they respect you as an adult? Do you make sure that they respect you as an adult? Do you set those same boundaries with your parents? And do you feel confident in the decisions that you make, right? And don't look for a situation to be the cure, but look to the root cause of the issue to be resolved. And I'll end it there.
Love that as always, Sean. It's been actually good vibes. I appreciate you, man. It's been fun, man. I've laughed hard, man. We haven't laughed like this in a long while, man. I've cried with laughter today, man. Listen, we're gonna be back here again next week, same time, 8 p.m. CST, to talk about the show. Maybe I'll do a little bit earlier, maybe, because I know it gets a bit late for you guys. You guys be suffering the same way I'm suffering. Okay, so listen, it's been. I think it's a good, strong start. I personally do think this season's a good, strong start. I think we're going to have one of the best seasons we've had in a long time. I think we are going to have some really good stuff. I mean, in the previews, it didn't look like people were fighting and throwing things. So that's not the emphasis this season. I think it's more of a case of, it's going to be arguments. It's going to be, sorry about that, disagreements. There's going to be, people not really, maybe not making it happen this season through some of their relationships. But I don't see the madness that we saw from, I guess, a season or two ago as well. So I think some really good stuff in this season. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. So it's a good start so far, and we're hoping for more of these kind of episodes as well going forward. So next week I know it'll be more of the couples getting married as well. So it's gonna be real good. So make sure you guys like this, share this with somebody else. You make sure you click on the bell button for notifications of the uploads. We appreciate you guys as always. And man, watch out for the reviews that I'll leave out tomorrow as well. And we'll be back Tuesday night. We have a live. We're now gonna do the submission thing. My bad. I was meant to do it last week, so that's my bad. So Tuesday we're gonna go live. Me, you, Sean, and anybody else wants to go live. We're gonna go live and we're finally talk about the submission situation. We're gonna break it down. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna break it down because it's been going around a lot. You know what I mean? It's been going around a lot. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Audience, it's been a blessed time. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. Leave your comments down below as well. We appreciate you, and we'll see you again next week for another thrilling and enthralling episode of Man at First Sight Super Panel. Much love and appreciation. We'll see you again very, very soon. Little black, you know what time.